the kids like to say, and it's another Tuesday evening here on the show. And Sean, we have accomplished exactly what you asked. The old head Gio frog is being used. I
Ah!
hope that you're happy. Also, Dime said that he will be available to join the show next week.
Oh,
So we can have a special guest if you so choose.
what can we talk about?
Anything and everything. I mean, I'd
Oh
have two. I'd
man.
have two Canadians to Tard wrangle. It'll be so exciting.
I
But
just
everywhere I was at this weekend, I was everyone was asking, "Why isn't Gio here? Why isn't Gio here? Why isn't Gio at the conference?" And I was like, "Man, I don't know. He's his own man."
next year, don't worry about it. I'll come.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen.
it's gonna happen.
I'm gonna do things that have never been done before.
God only knows what's gonna happen in a year.
I know, right? I mean, well, because with the old Glory Club, would it be on after the election?
Well, yeah, because I mean, it'll
Oh,
be a
well, there
year
you
from
go.
now.
Yeah, so
That's the whole point. Who knows what's gonna happen in a year? I don't even know what's gonna happen with the election.
Yeah, me neither. I don't have a good beat
Um,
on it.
I entirely, because John Doyle gave a speech and just talking about sort of electoral politics and why it still matters, and I was just like, so what do we do when this doesn't work out? Because as some women like to say, I've been hurt before, and so I don't have a lot of faith in whatever may happen this November. I would love to be wrong,
Yeah,
so wrong, so wrong.
yeah.
But in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy my momentary high coming back from seeing people, and we're back. We're back, everyone. So this is the Digital Archipelago. This is episode 92. We are
Whoa!
dangerously close to episode
I
100.
was born in '92.
And we're so back, and we're so old. And
We're so old. Yeah, yeah. That's true. It really is quite astonishing when you actually look back at like your podcasting career. My it's like my podcasting career, my posting career. It's like when you look back at it, it's like, well, I was thinking about that today when I was driving home. I was thinking about the stream I did. It was the mega stream I did on BTR
yeah,
where it was me, Lev, Joel, Paul Town, me, Lev, Joel, Paul Town, Alexander Bard, and small follower, John Powlich. I remember like that was like we did that twice actually. And I remember thinking like it was like a moment, it was like an accomplishment. It was like having like people from random walks of life but yet inhabiting like an online space, right? And I remember like I'm not ashamed to admit this, like I was like literally on the verge of tears afterwards. Like I was like, man, I really accomplished something. But then you time goes on and things change, and then you start to think about like, okay, what did I actually do? And there's always that sort of nagging feeling in the back of your head. And every time you do a stream, every time you put something out, it's not like a feeling of, how should I put it? It's not like a feeling of accomplishment. It's just like there's a part of in the back of your heart that's just something quiet. Like it's a piece in the back of your heart just gets a little bit more quiet, a little bit more content. And then you go on to do the next thing and the next thing. And so it's like you don't really feel joy at doing what you do. So it's hard to describe. It's a very hard feeling to describe. I don't know. I know I'm talking like we went through the Vietnam War, but but like podcasting or doing whatever, doing content, there's not like I can't speak for everybody, but I don't really consider it like, I mean, there is a feeling of accomplishment, but at the same time, there's always a struggle for more. You want more. You want more patrons. You want more eyeballs. You want more, whatever downloads. I mean, it's always more. And unless you hit a stagnation phase and then you descend into lolcow territory. But, apart from that, anyways, what was I saying, Prude?
I don't know, but life is a series of regular Tuesdays. I agree, Ken. It is
True.
It's good to have some it's good to have some regularity. Remember the 12-hour stream you promised for episode 100? Did we promise a 12-hour Digital Archipelago episode? I don't recall. Vingel, you're gonna have to post receipts. I don't think that's gonna happen. But yeah,
I remember what I say on stream.
I don't either, which puts me in a dangerous position because sometimes, like, someone in chat will be like, "Hey, you sounded really X," or "You sounded like some sort of strange description," and I'm like, "Really?" And he's like, "You should probably re-listen to that." And then I re-listen to it, and I'm like, "Oh dear God!"
Oh no!
So I've made it an effort for these shows and for any like long form thing I do. Like I listened to the whole 3 hours I did with Dimes on my way traveling to the Old Glory Club conference because I was like, what did I say on this like episode? And then I was like, oh no.
I had that feeling when I did a podcast of So. I'm like, what do we actually say? Oh God.
It's like the terrible like post podcast clarity.
Well,
oh no.
That's why, by the way, my views on the ZHP episode got hammered because I didn't realize, for some reason, this was before I discovered that you could edit in podcast. You could like edit YouTube like in show.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize when he did the thing where his cat was screaming, what he said afterwards. And so I had to I panicked and I re-uploaded it, which I shouldn't have, or else it would have had 5,000 to 6,000 views. Now it's only got 1,000 views because I had to re-upload it for obvious reasons, where I should have just edited it out of the thing, but it is what it is.
Well, I
didn't realize because his vocoder, I couldn't understand what he was saying.
Until it was too late.
Yeah. Oh man. That was, we all have fumbles along the way, man. I've been in some pretty awkward streams before. I had some
I can relate.
Yeah. I mean, I remember that one stream with Aiden Paladin. Never mind. It's not even drag up ancient history.
That is ancient history.
Yeah. She had a breakdown. Anyways, I like Aiden. She's sweet, but it's just that
she is.
Lev just kept letting on random people, and it was, yeah. Anyways,
I do appreciate when people's when you're mutuals with people like that, because it's like I am it's like, oh Lord, help me, for I am evil and retarded, and it's just there's some interesting people that follow me, and I kind of feel bad for that. Over the course of this weekend, I got the TAC follow, the American Conservative, the publication, and they only follow 200 plus people, and I'm one of them, and I'm like, oh no, the only thing I've tweeted out today was recycled Doug the intern Groiper, because Doug the intern couldn't make it to the conference. And
is it true he got derouted in Texas?
Yeah, it was a disaster. And
I thought that was a bit.
Well, what started as a bit only became reality as he could not attend the event. It was really sad. But yeah. No, so what Tree Surgeon, this is just ancient history Gio's talking about. From another career.
From BTR.
From another career, from another time.
From another podcast, yeah.
She goes to a different school.
She goes to a different country.
She's Canadian.
She's American. You don't know her.
Yeah, you don't know her. One of our loyal listeners made the profile picture.
Yeah. It's incredible. I love it.
It's great. It's so good. It just makes me want to get the let me turn off my camera here real quick, and I'll just change mine to what's fitting for me. Where is it? There we go. See, now it's truly the true show is right here. Yeah. Before the rules.
Before the rules. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Before the rules. Yeah. That was great. It was completely lawless. That's why Aiden Paladin got trolled on live on pod, but I kind of do miss those, like, not really because they did get us into trouble, but it was fun having like 12 people yell at each other over on the same show for like 4 hours. But then, like, when things got tighter and things got serious, you just couldn't have that anymore. So it's sort of like the magic left. And I told Lev, like, we should have at least like one stream like that, but I don't know. A lot of people do call-ins. I think, like, doesn't Jay Burden do call-ins?
He does a call-in show every
Yeah.
now and then. I don't know if he does them anymore or recently.
Oh, I wonder
But,
why.
well, he does
bad
he does a good
experiences.
enough job, I think, carefully combing through his Telegram
Yeah.
chat to make sure that doesn't happen. We could
Yeah.
probably do the same. Despite our craziness, our audiences got enough regulars to make that happen.
Yeah.
Episode 100 could be a call-in show.
There you go, that's an
Although
idea.
my desire was and has been that episode 100 is a live show.
Yeah.
Do we have a Norwooding frog wearing a hibiscus shirt?
We need that.
We do need that. Although neither of us are Norwooding.
There was an old school Groiper that did have an avatar with a hibiscus shirt. So I think even I think that Groiper. No, it wasn't that Groiper. It was another one. But like that Groiper, he like started it all. Really, don't let. Well, I'm okay. Like there's a debate whether who started the Groiper thing, but I think like the consensus is the original idea came from that Groiper, who was like an old head, but then he left. But then he like hated all of his fans, and he hated doing the bug of the week or whatever it was. And
Are we talking about Insect Bra?
Oh no, Insect Bra is still around.
Because I was like, that was also bug of like the day or frog of the day as well.
No, sorry, that Groiper did frog of the day, and he hated it. He like hated his whole audience. He's like, it's over. But no, but Insect Bra.
That's a slightly relatable feeling.
Yeah. Insect Bra, he used to be Petty Linkola Stan.
Yeah.
And then he had to change because he had like too many viral tweets that would get like the attention of the wrong people. And so he had to change his whole identity online.
That sounds like such a tempting desire to just like disappear, change entire online profile. Like, oh yeah, he's now like a Shakespeare poster now. Oh, he's a esoteric health guy post. It could be fun to just disappear for a couple of weeks and to do something else.
Yeah. Oh my God, Aiden Paladin went back on BTR and she got bullied by Dylan Burns over Ukraine. What the fuck is Lev doing over there? I saw one.
We're not gonna worry about.
I know.
We're not gonna worry about it. One of those days proved. Actually, no. Today was a great day. Today was a great day at work. I had a great weekend. I'm doing perfectly fine. I mean, I'm exhausted. Don't get me wrong, but that's my life every day these days. Life is good overall, though.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't actually have much to talk about because I'm gonna be on live with Dave the Distributist this Thursday, going over the event. But it's going to be, other than that, I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. Oh no, that would be like a reversion to like my like 22-year-old self. And I really don't want to go back to doing that. Let's not go back to being 22. I mean, I would love to be young again, but no,
what was the book you read? Was it Rollo Tomas? No, it wasn't Rollo Tomas's.
The Rational Male, yeah. Read that in college.
You read Rational Male?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I see he's back.
If you did,
he's back. We willed this guy into existence last episode. Old Head Norwood Groiper 2016. Cheers. I'm happy you are fulfilled with your work. I am I am happy with my work. I would like to do more with it, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Gabe says I would love to be 22 again. Aren't you 23? Calm down. It's fine.
They said the Rational Male is actually like, if you did want to like get women, it actually is a pretty practical guide.
Well, in hindsight, it's sales psychology, but applying it to getting laid.
I mean, all of this is just ripping off Neil Strauss. Not Neil. What's his name? Ross. Oh, me and Catherine interviewed him. He was the very first pickup artist.
You can't
Not
even remember your podcast episodes on the computer room.
because he's got like two names. Ross. Oh God. Let me look this up. It's really
yeah, that's the truth, Don. I'd like to be a little bit younger, but with my current set of beliefs, I could skip so much garbage.
Ross Jeffries, not
There
Neil
you
Strauss. Ross Jeffries was the very first one. It was not Rollo Tomasi. Rollo Tomasi's a liar. He isn't a liar, like, to say that he was the first one. It was really Ross Jeffries was the very first one that was doing this in like the early 80s. So he was the first to apply, which, I mean, they do consider it a pseudoscience. What's it called? That part of psychology where it's like you recognize patterns of behavior. What's it called?
Pattern recognition?
No.
Heuristics?
Neurolinguistic programming. Neurolinguistic programming. Go. Yeah. They say it's like...
I could hear the keyboard click as you were looking that up.
I forgot.
Tip of my tongue. Let me just... Real quick. It'll be perfectly fine. Although it is really funny.
Trigonology? Yeah, okay. Rollo popularized it. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But it all comes...
It's called noticing.
No, but it's all just neurolinguistic programming. That's all pickup artistry is. You know, I hate to break it to you, but that's the truth. Like, people have these elaborate systems or whatever, but...
Do you like a fresco?
Yeah. Like,
you know,
Ross Jeffries, like, this is all bullshit. You just have to provide women an interesting experience. That's really what it is. You have to like play to what they want. That's really, you know what I mean? Like, it's not difficult. I mean, it kind of is, but like, even Rollo would say that, like, listen, you're not going to get women unless you're interesting to begin with. So, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like you can't really fake a personality. And the problem is there's a lot of people that don't have a personality. And so therefore a lot of pickup artists, like, that's basically what they're doing. They're just preying on incels to like pretend that they could like contrive what's like a personality that's appealing to a very specific type of woman, you know, that frequents clubs or whatever. It's not really, you know what I mean? Like, that's my problem with pickup artistry. It's basically just selling a lot of sensitive young men like a pipe dream. But you know what I mean? But anyways, there's a lot of, I mean, that's like a whole 5-hour podcast if I were going to go over. I did a live stream once where I did go over the problems with pickup artistry, but that's like a long time ago.
Other than the neurological issues, I don't mind my 30s. I'm looking forward to my 30s.
Yeah, that's all right. It's all right.
Your life has only gotten better since you turned 30, Gio. What are you talking about? Like, you're finishing up your book, you have a girlfriend. Like, I would argue that you have a pretty good life.
Start lifting weights.
Yeah. Losing weight. I was about to say, like, if anything, your life has turned substantially for the better since turning 30.
It's because nowadays you need, like, 30 is basically the new 20. That's really, like, it used to be back in the day that 20 years old was the time that you started your life, but now it's 30 years old for obvious reasons. Like, there's just so many reasons as to why the 30 is basically the new 20 years old, especially for young men. I mean, there's a huge, like, there's a lot of civilizational and social pressures as to why that is. But, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, let's talk about something, no, 29, 20 is so young.
I get to do this joke this December. I'm excited.
29 years old. 29-year-old boomer.
They fantasy that you can tism your way out of your tism, or they sell that you can tism your way out of your tism. I don't want to. I'm okay. I like being who I am. I actually like who I am. So that's an important thing to consider.
You can tism your way out of being out of the tism, but it's just that, yeah, that is a huge victory. I gotta admit, that is a huge victory. No, you can do it. It's just that you have to find the right woman. You only need to find the right woman once, right? Maybe twice if you have bad luck. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, the problem is that even like Roosh would say this back in the day. It basically depends upon set and setting to quote an old Timothy Leary adage. It
Mm.
basically depends upon what woman you want, what your personality is, where you're at in life, and it depends upon the circumstances by which you and this woman that you're courting are in. That's basically everything is set in setting. There's no systematic rule. I mean, there's rules in terms of human relations, but there's no systematic rule that by which you can learn how to get women, because there's no systematic rule by which you can learn how to attract people in general, whether it be in a business setting or in terms of interpersonal friendships or relationships. It's all heavily dependent. It's like at what stage is this woman in her life? What are her interests? I know the whole argument about like, oh, like what do women want? Why, they quote the madman quote, like, what do women want? Who cares? And there is something to that, because a lot of what a woman desires, especially when it comes to men, can basically be engineered and mind fucked into them. But then there are women who are smarter than the average bear, who aren't going to tolerate you playing little games. But I think if the woman does have an attraction towards you, at least somewhat, they're willing to meet you a lot in terms of persuading them, like how things are, you know what I mean? Like, you have to like really appeal to them at the beginning, but then over time, it's actually fascinating the ability that women have to like graft onto the man that they love. You know what I mean? So it's like people that like worry about like, oh man, I'm a based edgelord. I like love a certain mid-century German, but it's like, okay, what am I gonna do, man? Like, oh, most women are libtards. Like, okay, it's true, most women are libtards, but even a apolitical normie, you could like find them. You can like, if you have a force of personality, and if you at least like have a modicum of rapport with this woman, a lot of women are willing to tolerate your like edgelord politics, at least somewhat. And then over time, especially if you have like children with this woman, then it's like it's over for their libtardation. You know what I mean? It's true. You can like red pill them, but red pilling isn't like, oh, I'm telling my woman to like read Spangler and Evola. No, it doesn't work that way. Red pilling, okay, you have to realize women are close to like the cycles of nature, right? You have to create a setting by which those political beliefs are amenable to who they are. And you have to sort of shield them from the personal costs of those political beliefs. That's basically, so it's not a matter of like, oh, I want a base trad wife. I want a base goth, Trump, MAGA, mommy, whatever, right? It doesn't work that way. Not
See,
all of us are privileged.
it is tradition. We haven't talked about jack shit in the first hour, and look at what
It's
you asked for.
not all of us are privileged to have a woman who's like, as based as you are, or more based, right? Anyways, what was that question? You have to create the environment. You have to basically you have to create the environment around the woman to make your political beliefs amenable. This
was the question I had on screen.
Okay, what did you have from Milk Truck Driver?
Yes.
Um,
Please be patient, everyone. Someone has autism. Also, at the conference, I saw someone with this hat. I was so taken aback. I think that was the same gentleman that gave me. I got 3 gifts from that, and one of them is a T-shirt that I will never wear on stream. But Did
you see Langdon Industries comment there?
No, hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I'm changing my profile picture back to something else. Langdon Industries had one GF expert on women. Hey, man, he's got a sample size of 1. That's like as good as it gets for him.
That's true. I'm not from Australia. I have a Canadian accent, my friend. Anyways, Milk Truck Driver. So, no, I am totally self-taught. I used my autism powers to. I explained this in the group chat. I thought you were there, Milk Truck Driver. So basically, it's like with lifting weights as well. There is a science to it. I know like a lot of these science bro lifters, a lot of them have like shitty opinions on things, and they probably should just go back to the old size monsters that knew what they were doing. But okay, it's not totally they're not totally wrong. Like people like Mike Israetel, they're not totally wrong. They do actually have good advice. So the way I learned lifting is the way I learned art. In the way I learned podcasting, and the way I learned writing, is that I had to like screw around for a little bit, like screw around for a year or so, and then I started to research more, watch more videos, systematize, and then eventually you start to like discover that, oh, actually I can't just skip the basics. I have to like go for the basics, and you know what I mean? So the way I learn things, I mean, that's how my mind works, is that I have to like essentially screw around for a little bit until I finally get to the point where I say, okay, I have to take this seriously. That's how I learned, right? Not everybody, everyone's different, right? That's how I learned lifting as well. I used to do like a few times a week, like, okay, I'll do some curls, I'll do some overheads. I don't know what I'm doing. But then you research more and you learn more. And then all of a sudden you start to like put two and two together. And learning any skill is really like that. But like artwork in particular, I mean, it's different because you have to have a basis in the particular styles, the particular mediums, the particular artists that you mostly enjoy, and then you have to also fight the impulse to emulate. That's get good enough that you realize you're bad. Yo, 100%. Yeah, there's no trick to it. Yeah, but you have to also like you have to like learn that there's no such you have to learn toward yourself of mimicry. A lot of younger artists now, I mean, it was true when we were young. They'll like go on their like little Wacom tablets and they'll try to like do their favorite anime, or like a lot of these MB kids will draw this ridiculous Viz Pop kitsch and they'll make everything look like Has Been Hotel. But the thing is, a lot of artists that work in the quote unquote industry, they already know the basics because they already did the basics. They already knew, they know how to render human form. And then you can exaggerate, right? So I started off untraditional in that I started off with abstract expressionism. Then I slowly discovered the landscape in terms of actually doing them. Then eventually I moved on to human forms. But but that's like a period of like 5-6 years. Same, yeah, like exactly. You're 100% right. Just lift things until you get better. No, it's true. Just the stuff that works, the things you want to get stronger, it doesn't need to be complicated. I mean, lifting is complicated, especially if you're doing it to like have a better a better state of health. But yeah, I mean, it is not complicated. It's just that the technique can be complicated, but I think that a lot of like fitness influencers make it too overcomplicated. And a lot of people that do art instructions, they also make it like they're doing the greatest hits. You know what I mean? Like I was explaining this actually to my girlfriend. Like there are people like that are very good, like Alvaro Castañer, that do the watercolor thing, but like they get into like a certain style to where they're like doing the greatest hits. Because here's the thing. If you're getting paid to do things like fly to China to like demonstrate and get paid thousands of dollars to do these watercolor demonstrations, because watercolor is very big in China, and you have like all these old heads that have been doing it for a long time, like him or Joseph Spookvik, like guys that got popular on the internet. It's like, of course, you're going to do the greatest hits, right? And a lot of like people in the art world, they'll stump their nose at it. But what's the difference between that or like Peggy Guggenheim buying your artwork? You know what I mean? Like, listen, everyone in the art world, everyone is a whore in the art world. Okay, that's the secret to art. Everyone is a prostitute. Everyone's a mark for themselves. And it doesn't matter if you're doing the same kitschy landscape with the same watercolors, or if Larry Gagosian's buying your bi POC trans woman of color work of art. It doesn't fucking matter. At the end of the day, you're a street worker. Okay, that's the secret of all art. I hate to say it, but it's the truth.
Do you want to? I found the T-shirt, so I'm never gonna wear this on ever on camera, but this is what I was given.
Oh!
Never gonna wear that, but I did laugh my ass off when I finally looked at it in full, because I got there like super late Friday evening because I drove, and he's like, "Oh, Prude, I got you something." It's this.
You have to
fucking
wear
T-shirt.
that on stream.
I'm never gonna wear this on stream. Are you fucking kidding? I'm never gonna wear that on
You
stream.
have to wear this.
No. I'll wear it. For $150, I'll wear it on stream. But I'm not wearing that on
Episode
stream.
100, you have to wear it.
I'm not doing that, buddy. Uh,
Pride
I'm not.
Rainbow Heart. I Rainbow.
Yeah, I
trans heart
heart
fish. Yeah.
trans heart fish, a trans heart government.
Oh, we should get WBS to do that. Like, I trans heart gold glory club.
No,
No, that'd be-
no, we're not doing that. Cut off the sleeves and wear that bitch. You could wear it to coffee hour. I'm never wearing that to coffee hour. Well, all right. Well, I guess it's happening. That's fine. That's fine.
Woo! Jay Ford for $150. Best $150 I've ever spent. Oh my god! You never make promises you don't want to keep, Bruce.
That's fine.
I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, you learned that the hard way. And what did you have to do? You had to give an in-depth hour-plus long review of Legally Blonde.
And Legally Blonde 2.
And Legally Blonde 2.
And
put on the shirt, you whore. That would be that would be the first time you've ever paid a whore to put on their clothes.
Whoa! I actually have to put out. I'm thinking this week I'm going to put out the Shunning review. So.
Speaking of which, I met Charlie Mackey over this weekend.
Whoa!
A really well put together, good looking Zoomer guy. He's like, "Are you enjoying getting brain fucked by Cruelty Squad?" And I was like, "Well, I've played it before, but." And he's like, "No, take your time with the video. I want it to be good." And he's like, kind of like rubbing his hands in that like kind of like cruel way, and he's just like, ugh. And so, Charlie, it's great meeting you. Loved you. I do plan to have it out this summer, so don't worry. As for the
Charlie Mackey
N64,
it's like a Vietnam War veteran name.
It's a great name, actually. We do kneel for King Ford around here. It was also a pleasure to meet him again at the conference. I got to meet Capitalissimo. That was probably my favorite part. No offense, but out of all the new people I've made friends with over the course of the last year, Cap is one of them because Cap and I. You wonder why I don't get shit done is because
did Gabe go?
No, Gabe did not go. Although I know what Gabe looks like.
What does he look like?
Gabe looks like a giant. He's kind of like you in terms of body shape, but he's like Eastern European.
Whoa!
He's like a Slavic homunculus.
Oh my god, he looks like
I know Eternal Darkness is on GameCube. It's called getting it emulated and then getting your stuff to record it properly. That's the issue.
Oh, if he was bald, he would look like the king from Berserk. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Slavic Gio. Yeah.
Yeah. Slavic Gio can't hurt you. He's not real.
Gio, if I send you $500, could I get you to dress up as Chris Farley, reenact the entire Matt Foley motivational speech skit? I'm not doing that. Like, what does he dress like?
Have you not seen the skit?
Maybe like a long time ago I saw it.
Yeah. Also, yes, the book club stuff, like the please go subscribe to Two Keys Mag, the Two Keys Mag sidebar podcast. They're great. So I highly recommend it. They do great work.
By the way, I've heard the Fez story that there's disputes over whether that was true or not about being dipped in the blood of Christians. I've heard that was disputed. So, I mean, just on the safe side, I mean, I personally wear a black Fez for that reason. But I've heard disputed accounts about that. But yeah, I didn't know Gabe looks and sounds and has my same physique. Will Gabe ever physique post? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll probably physique post in a year, but no, probably not. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm looking at like having like the.
You are a swole boy. I know what you look like.
I'm gonna have to like have that overhanging skin and shit, you know?
You can tuck that in.
I still want to get surgery, man.
Embrace the Simpsons thing. Just get a bunch of bread clips and tie it in the back.
Oh yeah, like that one Homer.
Just put it in a bun.
Yeah.
Just put it in a bun. And it's just like a giant bun of skin on your back.
No creatine in the world would make that hard, yeah.
There you go.
But I don't know. Maybe I could. I'll compensate by just becoming a mass monster, though. That's the thing.
You,
I'll be like a different mass monster.
you need to be getting bigger.
Yeah, I'll be a different kind of mass
If you
monster.
if you gain enough muscle, the skin will retighten. There you go.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, yeah. I'll look like El Simbati. No, I'm not. No amount of like work in the world could ever replicate El Simbati's body, man. That was too much. I have to like go on trend and everything. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. You know.
You gotta. Don't you have to breed before you get on that stuff? Before it fucks with your stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, but
Crazy.
like he was like crazy with it though. No wonder his heart exploded at like age 49. You know.
Mm.
But hey, man, like he was the best in the world. Like, you know, I totally stand Elson Body. He's probably my favorite bodybuilder. He in 96, he was robbed, man. Like as much as I like Dorian Yates, like Dorian Yates, like he just wasn't the same in 96. It like they robbed Elson Body of that title, man. Mr. Olympia. $1,000 Chad and Q wrestle Gio in a cage match. That's gonna be worth more than $1,000. Anyways, let's get on to something more substantial. It's already been 30 minutes.
Wow, it's
We're doing fan
36.
service right now.
Well, that's half the show is like fan service to chat.
Yeah.
Because chat really is the third chair of the show, and by third chair we mean the crazy people that throw their hands onto the steering wheel of the moving vehicle.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you guys make the show happen, and we appreciate it. No, it hasn't been an hour yet. Well,
Apparently,
Hey,
there's that
what
AstroTurf D girl. Did you see that?
the one who said the N word?
Did she see the word?
Is this the one that we're talking
The
about? I don't
blonde
know.
one?
I have not been on my phone for like the
Yeah.
last like 4 days, so I have no idea what's happened. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I've been essentially off Twitter, which has been awesome because I've been meeting people IRL. But what did I miss? So there's an AstroTurfed e-girl, some European elections happened, some monkeys were flinging shit in the zoo. I mean, like this was the usual stuff, right? Like
Yeah. What monkeys in the zoo?
I'm firmly counting on the fact that nothing ever happens.
Oh, like that smirking girl that like yeah.
No, none of that.
No, stop, guys. Don't
None
do
of
that.
that. You guys are better than that. No.
No.
The tower's been interrupted.
No end towers. No.
Go eat shit. None of that stuff. Thank you,
No.
chat. I keep the chat replay on here, ladies and gents. Let's be nice.
Yeah, we keep the moderation to a low, but just the things that can get us in trouble with YouTube, like
that AstroTurfed e-girl is the most redundant and uninforming statement I have ever heard.
They're all every e-girl's a fed.
Every e-girl, they're called radium girls for a reason, not just because they lick the paintbrushes, but they all glow.
That was true. There were women in the 50s where they were doing they were doing the nuclear watch, the gimmick watch thing, and then they would like put it on their teeth. You know, like when they were on a night out, it was like so it would glow in the dark, and they died of radiation poisoning. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a real story.
Do you know how little that narrows it down? So true, Captain K.
Yeah, true. No, but there's some blonde woman who's going super viral, and she's,
I'm under the impression she said the N-word and then she doubled down.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But anyways, that's unimportant. Maybe I'll talk about it in the Cole report.
That's also what started this this weekend was the Cole report.
Yeah.
So did you do it as This Week in Cole?
No, I just did the Cole report. Yeah, because I thought like This Week in Cole was kind of.
I wanted that. I wanted it to just be like, welcome to This Week in Cole for the week of June 6th, 2024. I am your host, Gio. Like it'd be great. I can't do the Carl Benjamin Swindon accent, but yeah. She didn't even hard R from what I saw. Well, who cares? Oh, yeah. You can do the NPR voice where it's like you got the really like da 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 like little gay piano introduction for like oh god, what is their show called? Like what are the NPR news I used to listen to it religiously when I was in high school.
I couldn't tell you.
News Hour. Like what is it called?
Who do they even have on NPR
God, I
anymore?
don't know anymore because I know that Siegel retired. All things considered, thank you. The old head is gonna know.
Oh, don't they
Thank
have
you.
what's that fucking that glow in the dark?
Jason Siegel's gone, or whatever his name is.
That
Not
one guy,
Patrick Siegel
the Norwood
and
glow in the
Fresh
dark.
Air.
Oh, what's his name?
It's literally publicly funded propaganda. It's state radio.
Pod Save America. Ben Rhodes. He was the Obama guy. He was a glowy for Obama.
I thought,
Isn't that
well,
on NPR?
there's Ben Rhodes, and then he has a brother who used to work at CNN.
Yeah, yeah. But Ben Rhodes is the one that does Pod Save America.
Ah,
Then like that Chapo cell does Pod Damn America or something like that. I don't know.
something like that. Da, 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 da. It's like, welcome. It's just like
Who is going to
all this
listen?
and news.
Remember they have the
NPR shows that
Obama.
have shows that aren't car talk. Oh yeah, all Chuck's con sneetered. That's too hard to like say though in one coherent like NPR voice.
Pod Save America was the blackest, coolest mid 2010s libtard shit. God, so intolerable. No, exactly. Ben Rhodes, if you like go to his Twitter, I think he blocked me, but like he's literally just like I trans heart Norwood all the time. Like it's like all those libtards that came from the Obama era that started to age out. I mean, it's just it's the worst type of cool. There's something about there's something about old people that try to be hip with like the Zoomer leftists that just something is so like inherently repulsive to me. I don't know. There's something about it just makes me repulsed, Like when old people do like
Whoa, I'm not blocked by this person. Even more entertaining. Sorry, go on.
Like Stephen King, he'll do the whole like protect trans kids or whatever. It's like that level of disgust where some like decrepit old boomer does the whole like hello fellow kids stuff. Or like Don
You mean
Cheadle
like
wearing the
Pokemon Go
shirt.
to the polls?
Yeah. Or recently it was Mark Hamill. I'm voting for Obi Biden Kenobi or what was it called? Some stupid.
Yeah, I mean, it's millennial nostalgia tier. Like, I mean, this is all for white millennials. This isn't because that's the voter base they're going for.
It's Gen X millennial nostalgia bait. Yeah.
My dad is on right wing Twitter, and it is so unbelievably strange to hear him talk about this stuff. God, that's so.
What's his account? He probably follows us.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Mr. Anxiety Flop. But what's his at? Let's go follow your dad.
Yeah.
But
no,
yeah,
Dad, no, don't follow. No, they're my parasocial relationship. Don't start listening to It's like when my old man's like, did you
oh,
see this video?
you were mentioned in a speech, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, last things referred to because he did a talk on Duluth and talking
Okay.
about creating language that is hard to become incomprehensible. And he's like, yeah, like Gio on the Digital Archipelago. It was really good.
It's like when my old man is like, did you watch this Black Pigeon Speaks video? I'm like no. Like it's can you imagine like
Black
Anxiety Floppa's dad?
No, that's
like, did you catch DA? Son, did you catch DA?
Do you imagine he just like opens the door? He's just like, are you listening to the show, son? Thinking about like, throwing that old fag
gets, like,
a super chat.
Pissed off. Cause then his mom gets like super pissed off about it. Son, did you listen to them talk about this e-girl? Like, what's an e-girl, son? I keep hearing them talk about e-girl. Watch his dad get more clout than him. Oh,
what's with all this woke stuff?
Can you imagine if your old man had more clout on Twitter than you did? That's a hell on earth right there, man.
I'm sure that exists. I'm sure that's out there somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm sure there is some politician or like some streamer whose dad is more popular than him, and it just bugs the absolute tar out of him.
There's gotta be, there's gotta be this kid. Yeah.
Make a language like the Tibetans. It's completely saturated with consonants and only a few native speakers understand it. Yeah. Kate, I don't think so. Well, I mean, with respects to the audio recordings available, I think that will be entirely dependent upon the speakers themselves. So no offense, I don't think I will upload mine just because I say things that could potentially dox me. In the same way, we probably won't ever hear Doyle's speech because Doyle was giving us a Mar-a-Lago story about Barron Trump that I'm never allowed to repeat. So Yeah.
Did Dave go or no?
Yeah, Dave went. I didn't get to see
Oh
Dave's
fuck! I could
speech
have
because I
drove
had.
up with him. Doesn't he
I
live in
didn't.
New York now?
I think he's in. I think New York, New Jersey, one of the two.
Oh, I think he. Yeah.
Yeah. This
Mm.
is only 44 minutes in, and it already feels so much longer than a usual show. So yeah.
Let's get into the topic. Let's finally do it. I know we got distracted. Sorry,
Yeah.
I got distracted.
Did
But
we? Did we? Oh, speaking of which, so I haven't really been on that. That story was worth the price of admission. So true, son of Haster. So true. Um. Yeah, it was also fun to see Son of Haster again in person. He and I look very similar in person. We had a nice photo together, smoking cigars
who is the
and
most an optical person that went besides Thomas?
the most. That's a great question. I don't know.
Was there like obvious like unoptical people?
No. Everyone was dressed like a gentleman, and everyone there was nice. It was good.
Hmm.
Gio sounds so sad to actually do the real show. I know.
You have to save it for the core report. That's
Yeah,
exclusive. You have to pay money for that one.
before you
So
arrived, Prude, I was asked if I was your brother. That's totally fair.
Ah!
We do look alike, except I don't have working. He has working kidneys, and I have a hairline.
Whoa.
That's the key difference between us. Although Raging Mandrill showed up with a mustache this year, and then people had confused him for me, so it was like, oof.
Yeah. Oof.
But no, it was a great time, and I highly recommend that you guys go next year. But oh man, so what did I miss? I saw that Brianna Wu was on Trigonometry talking about how like the left are the assholes in the gaming community.
Ah! Ah!
Sorry, I saw that. I want to talk about it.
Oh my
I
god!
had,
Does he like she's doing something with Lauren Seller now?
I saw that too.
Yeah, Borzoi tweeted about it. And I used your reaction image. I love that one.
Which one?
The Wojak going like he's like staring off into the abyss. Like what are you doing? Like, you know the one.
Like, I don't know which one you're referring
Oh, it's
to.
you. It's
This
your
one?
No, not that one. It's like
This one?
no, it's like just it's a plain drawing of like
Oh, no, that's the one from the comic thing because there's the
yeah.
guy that'll be like, so I was visiting my friend. He's like, oh, he's a friend's pilled visit maxer, and then he just like looks at him like creepy.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I do not want him on my side. Get rid of him. Yeah, no, I saw it. It seems awful.
Does no one remember? Like, I'm sorry. Does nobody remember Gamergate? Does nobody remember the Vice doc where Brianna Wu is doing the whole like, they're gonna, oh my god, they're coming to my house. I have to move, and they like the news crew like followed Brianna. Do you remember? Nobody. It was either the BBC or it was Vice. I forget. Does nobody remember? Do we need old heads to educate people about this shit? Like, I'm sorry. You know, like, go ahead, Prue. What were we gonna say? I'm just getting angry right now.
I thought it was so funny. Like, what year is this?
Yeah.
That we're having like, well, you know, people thought it was the far right. Now it's the far left. Are we doing the grift of like the left me for Brian Wu? Brian Wu, the left me. Do we need old heads? Yes, we need old heads. Does nobody remember the Law and Order episode where we said, you know, gamers are clearly it's not a space for women? Yeah, this Brian guy sounds like a real jerk.
Yeah, Gamergate was an objective loss for us. We've even had some victories. Is impressive. Well, I would say that it did change a lot of things, but in terms of the actual objective, yes, video game companies are worse than ever. So,
yeah.
But Brianna Wu is like an objectively repugnant figure. I don't understand. Like, these popular people are the cheapest fucking dates in the world. I remember, you know where I got that line from? I got that line from Matt Forney, believe it or not. Where he's like, a lot of these people are the cheapest dates because as long as some former leftist, so I said this in Oren with Anna Kasparian, as long as they say the right things and they say like, I don't know about these people, the woke people, they're going a bit too far. As long as they say that, then all of the people in conservatism TM or all the people that are just the subcutaneous layer below conservatism TM, to which I place trigonometry and Lawrence Southern, as long as they say that about the left me and they're going a bit too extreme, then these people they pull their pants down and they say come and suck. That's the reality of it. I'm sorry to be vulgar, but if you don't have that
tell
standard,
us how you really feel.
No, because if you don't have that standard for someone who fucking doxes people, someone who has other things which I can't like mention, then then you know what I mean? Then it's like, what's the point? Like, I'm sorry, I don't care if Brianna Wu had a come to Damascus moment where Brianna Wu realized, and by the way, I'm avoiding saying she for YouTube purposes because I don't want to force myself to say she. Okay, I'm going to say the name just for so Prude's channel doesn't get in trouble. But
I already got in trouble for the Dimes episode. Do not worry. I said some things on that episode I probably shouldn't have, like A10 runs on the Darien Gap, but that's okay.
No, here's the thing.
I can defend that position.
I understand. Okay, here's the thing. Okay,
the entity. I like this. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it like an SCP entity?
There you go. No, okay.
Special containment procedures go on trigonometry.
I will say though, okay, here's the thing. This is the difference. Now, some people could say that I'm a hypocrite because I was on a show that had leftoids on it. And I've interviewed people that people don't like, right? And I'm thinking of interviewing more people that some people don't like on either side of the E, right? And
so
I've interviewed leftists before. But I think the difference is that, okay, if you're interviewing somebody because of their set of ideas. Now, for example, I contemplated because I really enjoyed the book that this person came out with. But do you remember Ulysses?
Yes.
Okay, right? I really thought long and hard, and I said, oh man, that would just cause me too much problems. But I can respect somebody for their intellectual work. And you could say that, listen, I know that this is an optical, but the difference, though, here's the difference, is that you can platform someone for their ideas, or you can platform somebody as a rehabilitation, giving them cover from the right thing, right? That's the difference. The difference being is that if you're going to cover somebody, for example, Ulysses, let me just come out and say it, Ulysses is a trans person. But I'm not going to talk about that as like, oh, here's my base trans person, right? But if you're going to do the angle of here is my base trans person, and by the way, the left them, and I'm going to do this like total whitewash job, that's the difference. Okay, I'm not going to talk about Ulysses as like Ulysses is my base trans friend. No, if I ever brought Ulysses on, it would be about the book about differential homology and Deleuzian theory and stuff like that. I'm not going to go about like, oh, by the way, this is my base trans friend. That's the difference. If you're bringing on Brianna Wu to do the whitewashing of Brianna Wu saying, oh, the left me, and Are you
ready for it? Are you ready for it though? This is the defense that's being played. Quote, okay. In my Trigger Pod appearance, I vigorously defend Biden and talk about how Democrats need, quote, our Jewish coalition to win, an outline for a vision of the party after 2024 and focused more on the working class. I am not leaving the left. I am leaving the fringe nut jobs who are under the fringe nut jobs. You're a fucking tranny. Under the delusion that they are the entire left.
Then interview Peter Wolf, the economist, if you want to do that.
And guess who's the first reply?
Martin?
Dev.
Oh my god.
Short fat otaku. Become an enlightened centrist.
Oh,
my fucking year is this. So what though? Oh, because I only brought this up because I'm being a total asshole and I haven't seen anything on the news for the last 4 days, and I just wanted to bring something up.
Yeah, they have nothing to do with us, but like, I mean, they do bring on people that are from our spheres, but
do they?
It's like,
when's the last time they interviewed a right winger?
Do you consider Kashuda a right winger?
I consider Shuda friendly, so yeah.
Well, I don't know. I can't. Well, didn't they interview Carl?
Have they interviewed Carl?
They interviewed Sargon, no?
Oh.
Yeah.
No,
They're
there
never.
you
They're
go.
not gonna fucking. They're not gonna. You know. They're not gonna interview Thomas, but like they've interviewed Carl. You know.
Could
Now
you
that's not saying much, but
could you imagine just like, you know,
trigonometry with Thomas 777
he just kills him.
destroys them. Yeah.
One only well, that'd be a fun show. Live from Chicago. But anyways,
No,
uh
but that's what I mean.
as-
Like it's not like I don't understand. Like this is
you wanted your hour of slop, this is what you're getting. I hope you're happy, chat.
no, but the thing is, like I understand, like if it's a leftoid that like has like something smart to say or like is an actual like academic or whatever. But Brianna Wu is like a pretty notorious figure. So I just don't understand. It's like anyways, let's just not, you know,
So I saw
this
that. I just saw that on the timeline over the course of the few minutes a day I was on my phone before passing out at like 3 a.m. What else was there? We had a wave of the European elections for European Parliament. Is that correct?
yes.
And we saw some moderate increase of the vote share for populist right wing parties.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Well,
Although,
isn't the AFD the official opposition now or no?
well, have they formed a coalition with the CDU?
Oh yeah, because that's how it works in Germany and Italy and elsewhere. Yeah. So
Oh,
I mean,
no worries, Marpley. You're fine. Oh, and yes, and Tucker had an interview with Bukele.
oh, did AA go on trigonometry?
That would be really no. He has never. I think he said no to that. Name one leftoid with something smart to say. Mark Fisher. I mean, he's dead, but
Currently,
he's. Is there a current leftist with something interesting to
I mean,
say?
I guess,
There are a
yeah.
few lefty economists I find interesting, but outside of that, no, not
There are a
really.
few lefty theory cells I find interesting, but like that'd be like they would never come on my show. Yeah, they come on the computer room, but not like, yeah. But no, but that's, I mean, yeah. Obviously, like the problem is that this is a work. This is a pro wrestling angle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess Doug Lane's pretty interesting. No, like this is a work. That's the difference. The difference is you're not like you're platforming someone specifically so you could rehabilitate them so they could be forever in the Barry Weiss containment zone of like woke centrism. That's what it is.
Mm.
Um no, apparently Noam Chomsky isn't going to be alive for very much longer. I mean,
Oh, gee, who would have guessed?
yeah, he's not doing too well.
Yeah, I doubt it. So I mean, I don't know. There's not too many left wing thinkers I've read up on. I mean, there's because so many like even the older lefties like David Harvey and them, they're all so entrenched in just like Marxist 1.0
Well,
and
Trump broke a
2.0
lot of their
analysis. Well,
brains.
plus they're all well because I mean also a lot of their analysis just doesn't work for this day and age. I think a lot of the big things that we have to deal with and this is like the golden opportunity for theory cells, and this is why like some of the accelerationists or even like the Landian stuff is so interesting, or even the old CCRU crap is interesting, is because they're trying to comprehend that the old school models of the theory of state, government, and power of the 19th and 18th centuries do not apply to the 20th or the 21st. So how do we like
Yeah.
comprehend and synthesize something new? That's what makes them interesting. Some of the stuff they think about is batshit insane and
Oh yeah.
crazy, but there I think that the fundamental truth is that the models of how power, state, governance, and even to some lesser extent the interaction between like the state and say just quote religion period, not like
Yeah.
Christian religion but just religion period, has so fundamentally altered from its 19th and 20th century conceptions. Like we need to think about things of today and of tomorrow, because the philosophies we think of today will inevitably be the models that are used as like, you know, pedagogical philosophical frameworks of the future. That's true. I don't know too many lefties that are kind of like approaching that. I mean, like the Donna Haraway stuff I guess you could definitely throw into the
Amy
mix.
Ireland,
Amy
technically.
Ireland, yeah.
I'd
But I mean
interview
like
her. Like she came out with a QDAX book. Cute acceleration. Yeah. I mean, she had a lot of other essays that I liked. So probably Amy Ireland I'd interview. Um, in terms of like theory cell deep cut, I mean Nancy Brown, but Nancy Brown's getting old. Who else? I mean, there's other ones who are pretty interesting, but
yeah.
they're just like totally unapproachable because they're sort of like walled up in academia. What were you saying?
And they're so far away from this world anyway. Like they wouldn't want to talk
Yeah.
to a bunch of like uh right wingers on the
I
internet.
guess
Why
some
would they?
urbanomic writers might, but
I used to like Kurt Vonnegut. Kurt Vonnegut's I like his writing. I like his prose, but I mean, I do take some issues with him.
he's dead now,
Uh,
isn't he?
yes, Vonnegut's dead.
Yeah. Some people are surprisingly still alive.
Yeah.
But no, so the European elections, I'm skeptical because there's been waves, there's been waves of this before, but it usually never materializes because of the various fortifying activities that go on in Europe.
Is it really? Well, they have better elections than we do. It's not that it's fortification. It's just that we know anytime that like Le Pen or some right wing figure is
Well,
in
in France,
charge.
you get scared, yeah.
Well, it's not even that they get scared. Just what happens is that there are like 5 other lefty socialist parties, and
Yeah.
they just know to vote for the mainline opposition party come for the presidential election because they don't want a right winger in office. I mean, like that's the thing that I think that needs to be concerning. Because I know he's called for an election. I just know that what will most likely happen is that they'll call an election. If there's going to be any sort of rightward coalition, cool. But even then, every other lefty party will vote in unison against the right for whoever the
Yeah.
front runner is.
Well, that's what I mean. Like that, but I mean, France has a very particular situation. Um, Plus, Macron has been there for a long time, and I mean, a lot of it is to do with the price that these people have paid for the Ukraine war, and the fact that a lot of people are realizing that they're basically a serf class to America. So I think like that's probably a deciding factor as well. But I mean, in terms of like Macron's electability again, like you said, yeah, the French left, they basically will just vote for the neoliberal center, and the right wing in France or the conservative wing in France, they do have an uphill battle. But like all these places, the only places I really trust would be like more of the Eastern European blocs because they're the ones that are directly paying the price for the war in Ukraine in terms of like sending all of their arms and their economic productivity in the case of Poland. So yeah, there is I trust them more to form right-wing governments than I do say in Germany or France. But I mean the AFU, I mean the FD, like they're basically, I mean the government wanted to make them illegal, like it's what's funny? There was this leftist that had this like viral tweet, some like neoliberal whatever. Like, did you see this where he's like, it's so concerning that the far right is rising in continental Europe over this one issue of immigration, and the million comments were like, "Have you tried like stopping immigration?"
Yeah, I did see that. I saw
Yeah,
Conley Drupka doing. I think he had the Microsoft Clippy thing where he's just like, "We're just reduce immigration, reduce immigration. Seriously, just reduce fucking immigration."
yeah,
All the French parties have refused to join Macron. It's different. Pen got 2 times the votes he. Well, that's interesting. And also, I know that Nigel Farage did the whole 0 seats meme, so you got
oh
that
yeah,
going. So so this morning it was 7:25 a.m. I'm driving to work. I'm about to pull into my office. I get a huge text dump from our good friend Niels Wegner, who goes by the Twitter at alt-right WRITE Wegner, sort of giving me his take on it. So I figured I might read a slight bit from it
yeah,
that way because I know that some of this was behind the paywall, but I will not read the whole thing. So he says, you know, the time has come. The political Twitterati will now fully concentrate on the U.S. presidential election in November. The 2024 European Parliament elections are done, but what we know so far is impressive. But there isn't much. But is there really that much of a cause for celebration or even hope for the future? And if so, for whom? As things stand at the time of writing, on the evening of the last day of the election period from June 6th to 9th, the people of Europe have given their Brussels elites a face of series of resounding slaps in the face. And then he talks about what's happening in Germany, talking
yeah.
about the liberal tabloid Der Spiegel, and the state
Oh god,
television
they're the
station
worst.
CDF. They dug into the grave of the long deceased grandfather of the AFD frontrunner Maximilian Krah until they found alleged NSDAP membership card. Alleged. Fittingly, the publication of the scandal was scheduled for April 20th. This was the Federal Republic's punishment for the fact that Krah, one of the several spokespeople in the AFD, had called for a U-turn in Germany's rigid ideological politics of memory, not to mention immigration.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean,
Well, they've been psyop the hardest with the project of the empire. You know what I mean? Like they're like patient zero for the ideological warping of the liberal world empire. So the politics of memory in Germany bleeds into pretty much everything. And the German people are made to feel collective guilt to this day. And I don't know. I like to believe that the German people, their spirit has yet to be broken, but it's looking tough. But there is signs of hope. But I just don't see how a coalition with the AFD could.
Yeah.
The reason I say this, I don't see how they could survive because, of course, a lot of politics in Germany, as it is for a lot of Western Europe, is sort of like out of their hands. America certainly doesn't want the AFD to be elected.
Well, I'm sure its government doesn't.
Yeah. The British don't want it. Other countries don't want it. And so I think that, of course, because isn't it so funny how to be right wing is like non-interventionism? Isn't that so crazy? That like if you vote for a right wing government, you're voting to not engage, to escalate the war in the East. You know, isn't that crazy? So I think that the AFD and all the other conservative parties are going to have an immensely hard time. And I wouldn't put it past if there was some sort of fortification going on, if there was some kind of political pressuring from outside of Germany going on as well, especially if Biden gets reelected. Then who knows what's going to happen. So
yeah, but he does make a good point in his post, simply saying like, listen, it's important to consider that.
Well, he's German, is he not?
Yeah, he is German.
Yeah.
And that's why I was really glad that he sent me this message because I really like his work. And I was like, I haven't had a chance to read this, and then he like sends it to me, and I was like, thank you so much. Because I just I just pressed my phone to do the whole read aloud, and then I had my phone connected to aux cord. But he just makes a point saying like, listen, if you're trying to go for these like Christian like the CDU or any of these other sort of Christian conservatives, and he's like, especially the ones who were installed in Europe after World War II by the U.S. as the first place as advanced bulwarks against communism, will ultimately lead to their self-belittlement. They have liberalized, transformed themselves into big brothers, and they have become increasingly insignificant and ultimately invisible. Europe and the European states can no longer afford this. If there's to be any path into the future for the West, then it can only lead beyond the established appeasers. Whatever colorful their conservatism of what is in reality only moderate progressivism may or may not be painted. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. You either are going to let this continue, and we already know how bad it's going. We already know how bad it is in America.
Yeah.
Like, every time I drove somewhere, okay, so like this is what killed me. I was outside of Memphis. I was in some middle of nowhere place in Arkansas. Had to get gas, and I desperately needed to take a leak. I walked into the gas station. 4 other people were in there. The guy behind the counter, Indian. The guy trying to buy cigarettes, black guy who could not speak a lick of English. And then 2, Hispanic, South American types. I'm in the middle of
where was this?
The middle of fucking nowhere, Arkansas.
Whoa!
So like, I'm my country is already the product of what these projects look like. Europe, you're still majority white. Please do something. Save yourselves.
Yeah.
For my God, please.
Well, look at France, especially with all the migrants.
Well, a lot of it too is still, especially in the cities.
Were you pissing like a racehorse in there?
I sure was. Oh, I was already strapped, but still.
Do you have
it was bad.
Well, because you're kidney, right? So you got.
Well, I stay super hydrated, so yeah. but
Oh, okay.
absolutely nuts.
But do you have like an overactive?
No. I mean,
Okay. Just
yeah, it
gotta
was
keep
just bad.
hydrated.
I
Yeah.
just stay hydrated. You're racing like a piss horse, and so true, Jay Ford. Absolutely superb.
Sound like a piss horse. Sound like a racehorse pissing in there. Yeah.
Uh,
For those who don't know, that's a Sopranos reference. Vito and Finn, who was Meto's boyfriend at the time, he squats
then
down like
this.
a sumo wrestler.
Oh God.
uh,
Yeah, Gio is
Gio was
very
interested
interested.
in Prude's blood.
Gio is very interested to know how I piss, like a strange man.
Oh my god.
It was weird because I don't like doing the parasocial thing, and it's very weird to it just be like everyone's like, "I love the digital archipelago, man. You and Gio are a great duo." And I'm like, "Thank you." I still don't know how to react to that. Um, we're OG Hydro homies. Don't you see? This is how you know. Like, just to throw some dumb Reddit shit back at you. Remember when it was what was it? Subreddit water niggas? Like that's what it was. And then they got like all
Oh
upset.
yeah, yeah. Oh
And then they
man.
got upset. So now it's Hydro homies. But like this is it sounds like he's frying chicken in there.
Piss Patrol, Geo on Piss Patrol. Well, in prison they call it Peter gazing, but
Kind of
you
gay
know
there,
what Peter
buddy.
gazing is?
Yeah, stick to your own stall.
Yeah. That is weird though. Like if you're like in a urinal and someone just like looks over, you could like catch them looking over quickly. It's like, ugh.
Jealous, buddy?
It was like that scene in Buffalo 66 where like the gay guy was looking at Vincent.
Stall
Vince,
streaming.
yeah, yeah.
That's a good. I'm liking these names. Stall streaming,
Stall streaming,
Willy
yeah.
watching.
I may or may not have done a podcast from the washroom before, but anyways, you
Oh,
just
I've
have to learn
definitely
when to
I
mute.
have done I've done Twitter Spaces and podcasts whilst going to the
Yeah, you just
restroom.
have to
Yeah,
learn how to mute.
knocks on the
But
divider. Don't you hate these? You
no,
know,
but that's
Alpino over here is just be like, yeah, I go cruising. This is how I know these things.
oh my god. No,
Guys,
but that one scene in Buffalo 66
spoiler
where the
alert, Geo, half our audience is gay. Look at the chat.
just piss with enough pressure that ends up splashing them everywhere. Pecker peeker. No, but yeah, this is why I go in the stalls, man. I don't want to like have someone look at me, but
Friendly spy plate inbound. I make David edit out all of my toilet splat. I know that isn't true because I've done 2 episodes of Tuki's podcast with you, and I know you've never once done that.
no, I mean because Gabe has piss jugs. That's probably what it is.
That's probably true. Sometimes I piss Mr. I do the same thing, especially when I'm outside and I'm not on I'm on my phone and not doing that. Like I did mute myself when I was on the Twitter space of Mr. D's and I pissed inside the Bucky's bathroom.
How long until Jiryu's Gachimuji huge deep? Oh my god, no! You know what Gachimuji means in Japan? Never mind. Let's
No,
not go there.
I
Let's not
don't
go
know.
there. Let's not go there.
Obviously, I hold it in for guests, so that's you're kind, man. I had to edit. I have to edit out Gabe eating cottage cheese into a mic. There you go.
It's funny
Just
when
there you
it's
go.
well, Mr. D like he takes a lot of piss breaks, and
Well, because he's drinking like crazy.
yeah, same with Oliver.
Moldovan doesn't mute. We know Marvelous Dex. We know.
Didn't like Vivek Kamara Swan, what's his name?
Ramaswamy.
Yeah, didn't
he go somewhere?
he pissed on stream with Milan or something like that.
Oh yeah, he did piss when he was on
Elon. Could hear it.
Yeah.
The diuretic archipelago.
And the diuretics. Yeah, the diuretics. I also know that what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, Tucker Carlson's going on tour. It feels like it's like all the Peterson tours he used to do.
Oh man. I saw Peterson.
I have never been to a Peterson lecture or show.
Well, because I went to the Zizek debate.
How was that going?
It was all right. I mean, it was like I live tweeted it, but like a lot of some of those tweets got deleted over the years, but like it was like it's not getting to the point. It was more of the celebrity of it. I didn't. In hindsight, it was like a shallow debate. It wasn't that great. It
That's
wasn't
what
worth
that
my
that
$90.
was Dave's take on it all.
Yeah. It wasn't. It was pure Clash of the Titans. Here's like one philosophy bro, and here's another
No,
philosophy
no,
bro.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It was not like
That's chaos. When you pull your dick out. And she, I'm not gonna do the whole copy pasta.
Jordan Peterson getting a booyah. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
No, but like, yeah. So, anyways, let's go back to we totally derailed him on the European news.
We derail a lot of things on this show.
Yeah.
This is the show where I don't have a lot to say because I have not been here lately.
Oh, plus Ireland, the Irish Nationalist Party got a seat. What's his name?
I saw that. I did see that. I saw he gave a little speech. Oh no, and he's gone. Gio just disappeared. And that's a hell of a thing. It sure is a hell of a thing, Robin V. Mars. And now you're stuck with me until Gio's ass gets back on here. He heard me. They heard me say the word with an A, and now all of a sudden, I regret to inform you, the Trudeau government has euthanized Gio. So that's what's happened here. He was pissing the entire time. Yeah, the Trudeau government has euthanized Gio. No, he's back. He broke free.
Yeah, sorry about that.
What happened?
I don't know. It just randomly kicked me.
It randomly kicked you?
Yeah, it does that sometimes.
Mm.
But
well, I'm glad that they didn't. The Mounties didn't euthanize you. There's no excuse for being Canadian. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, not getting mated is like the bare minimum in Canada. I had this big. I'll save it for the core report. I had this like big rousing speech about the Edmonton Oilers, but
so what is the news with hockey?
Florida won 2. It's 2-0 in the series, and they're getting swept. So, I mean, the Oilers might theoretically win one game, but it's pretty much guaranteed that the Panthers are going to win the cup, Florida Panthers. So,
you know what I did? I just put in Stanley Cup, and the first thing that comes up is the Stanley Cup for the thing that women have.
Oh God!
And then I then put hockey, and then I have what I have here, which is frustrating. Although I'm not gonna lie, because the stupid Tumblr. Speaking of stupid Tumblrs, so this is I'm gonna do this dumb thing where I talk about these Tumblrs. I have one of those, courtesy. My girlfriend got me one as a gift, and it has a little frog on it, and it says totally exhausted. And I'll tell you what, though, I used that thing at the conference. I used that thing at work. I fill it up with ice. I fill it up with water, and I go through water like crazy, and I just drink it like a coffee mug. I don't have a straw, and it's fantastic. I love it, and not just because she got it for me, but because it's something that I have practical utility for. And women love their backwash. Well, it was a nice thing to get, and I use it, so hey, I don't care.
Patrick Quinlan, he got elected to the Dublin City Council.
Yes.
Yeah.
Prude is a white. Well, I am white. No one can deny me that. No one on the internet can accuse me of being anything else.
But no. So yeah. I mean, I'll go over it on the core report. But basically, the Oilers have the same problem that every Canadian team has, and lack of consistent goaltending, relying on superstars to do all the work, and I mean it's not looking good. And the thing is, though, is that isn't it poetic that everyone's behind the Oilers, but Canada's hope to win the cup for the first time in 30 years gets dashed by the redneck Florida outlaw mud show team. So it's like, it is what it is, man. Like, it's, I'll go more into it on the Cole report. But anyways, back to Europe.
The Canadians have not had
a Stanley Cup in 30 years.
Good Lord.
The last team to win it was the Montreal Canadiens in '93. When I was like, literally, I was like not even a year old. So all the Canadian millennials that grew up, a lot of them are hockey players now.
Many such cases.
They grew up like without the cup, quote unquote, coming home. So
this is how my friend is about the Buffalo Bills, because
up
until like a few years ago, it was basically they hadn't been in the playoffs in nearly 30 years.
Yeah.
And my friend is in his mid-30s, and he's just like, I remember the last time that they were there in the playoffs as a kid. And this is when they were first introducing like slow motion instant replay, and they got screwed over. And it's like ever since then, it's just been like years of disappointment. And then they finally got into the playoffs a few years ago, and it was like absolutely crazy.
Wow, Tuga was there?
I was there for that 93 win. Well, damn. Well, there you go.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, the whole team was stacked, you know? Like, they had Guy Carbonneau as their captain. Of course, in net, they had Patrick Waugh. And, like, this is the thing Canadian teams can't understand anymore. The only way you're going to win a cup is if you have a once-in-a-generation goaltender. And I will say this. For as much as I am a diehard Toronto Maple Leafs fan, it is something else watching Connor McDavid play hockey for the Oilers. But even him could not get past Sergei Bobrovsky. So that's a big problem, because even when they do have a chance, because Florida is a very grinding defensive team, proof that unbreakable faith can still exist. No, it is incredible watching Connor McDavid play. He is literally on the same like Wayne Gretzky level, but unfortunately he can't get past Bobrovsky. So I don't know what, if Florida wins, it's because of him. Basically, it's because of Sergei Bobrovsky. They're going to give, same with Martin Brodeur with the New Jersey Devils when they won all those cups in the 90s. It's because of fucking Martin Brodeur. So, you know, I don't know what to say. Canada, exactly, Langdon Industries. All Canadians know is loss. Exactly, 100%. Because if our national sport, if we can't even win a cup in 30 years and it's our national sport, then I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. It's indicative of every single thing wrong with Canada manifested in sports. Okay?
Give it 5 years. It'll be less than 5 years. Who are we kidding? Give it within 5-year time frame, there will be Canadian teams with like half Indian, you know.
Well, they have Indian players.
Like, okay, but soon there'll be like a team.
Oh, you mean like half of it? Yeah, half of it.
No, just like, you know, a bunch of like, I'm just imagining like 5'7", you know, these like Indian guys from like Quebec or whatever, not Quebec, but like, you know, from any
from
major,
Ottawa,
Ottawa, and they're out there, and then all of a sudden, like, they just get like slammed into the side.
They get demolished by American players,
and they just get eaten.
The Toronto.
Do not redeem puck. Do not redeem puck. Technically, lacrosse is the national sport.
Officially, yes, but let's face it, hockey's the national sport. So,
I've seen games of college lacrosse. It can be pretty intense.
The Brampton expansion team. They could have a team in Hamilton, but they'll have a team in Brampton.
Bloody puck. You know, it'll be fun.
The Brampton Colistanis, yeah. No, they have Hockey Night in Canada broadcasted in Hindi.
That's terrifying. They'll just import more American, Swedish, and Russian players. Oh, of course.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, all the goaltenders are Russians, so
yeah.
It seems Russia's the only country able to produce good goalies anymore. So you know, say what you will, right? The Surrey sings. The Surrey sings.
Oh, this is bad.
That'll
The
be like an
Canadians
ECA.
crush at curling. That they do. And I genuinely, curling is my favorite Winter Olympic sport outside of the biathlon.
Oh
It is one of my
man.
all-time favorites because, like, I like the American curling team because it is like a bunch of middle-aged Midwestern dads with great mustaches playing a good game that I don't really understand or that I don't really appreciate enough. But by God, is it really entertaining to watch the men play? It's so good. It is so good.
Curling is just bocce, but like with Northern Europeans on ice. That's what curling is.
Hmm.
Because bocce and Italian, like the Italian game bocce, the lawn balls, it's like actually pretty similar to curling. Um, the Brampton Brahmins. Yeah, here you go.
Ice bocce, so true.
Yeah,
Curling
but
is a
speaking of
comfy
you,
sport. So yeah.
but speaking of Europe, though, I mean, let's um, there is
And
a complaint
it is a good thing to see that the main issue,
is
just as it
immigration.
has been immigration. And that is a good thing, and that needs to continue to stay the course.
Yeah, yeah. No, but I mean, like, there's some people that were like sort of blackpilling about how a lot of these leaders, whether it be like Viktor Orban or Geert Wilders, or even some people in the AFD, how they're sort of like they have to mimic the affectations of Republicans in America. And they have to be like, for example, the AFD has to like pretend that they're like pro-Israel, for example, for
Uh-huh.
obvious reasons to like stave off any association with you know what, right?
Well, of course.
And of course, Geert Wilders is, so I mean that is a
Well,
valid
I mean
criticism,
the problem too to criticize is always that you can't frame it liberally.
right?
Like, I mean,
Right.
oh, we're anti-Islam because they're going to hurt our gays. Like, the gays still hate you.
Yeah, yeah,
I
and
mean,
other
it's
groups as
pretty
well.
straightforward.
Yeah, no, but I think like that's the problem is that unfortunately, I mean, I wish not that I condone this, obviously, but that is sort of like unfortunately the Faustian bargain that a lot of European conservative leaders think that they have to go. Yeah, but AFD does have solid messaging, but unfortunately they do feel like that's the way they have to go down. Now I agree with the criticism that they don't have to do that. They don't have to like appeal to like the way that conservatives do in Canada here, where they have this like since Stephen Harper onwards, they have this like super pro-Israel thing, or they'll like be this super fiscally responsible, like Kevin O'Leary trying to run for the Conservative Party type of deal. Like it's they don't have to conceptually cuck themselves because in
Well,
terms of the anti-immigration
speaking
message,
of conceptualizing things, I mean, Trudeau has made himself sound like he is just like the only progressive bastion left in the world.
yes, but he wants it
Despite,
that way.
well, I know he wants it that way, but the question is like, is that guaranteed? I mean, out of all the, I mean, like the Anglosphere countries are in a really shitty spot.
Oh yes,
Period.
especially
Like
Canada.
we're all in a shitty spot. But I mean, at least in places like Australia, the United States, and England, there's like some visceral reaction to the craziness. Is there anything
Right.
like that here in Canada or in there in Canada?
It's starting, but it's very, very in situ nascent. There will be a lot of people that will secretly hold their noses and vote for the Conservatives, even though Conservatives are not that better on immigration whatsoever. But it's not in the same degree. I mean, I think that if you have to realize, okay, here's the difference. Here's the difference: is that
I'm listening.
thus far, the Indians in Canada have not been that violent. I mean, maybe eventually, yes. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, the problems with mass immigration from India and Bangladesh, the subcontinent, right, is that the problems are very easy to hide. Jobs displacement, healthcare costs, housing crisis, till they're not very easy to hide, by the way. The problem is that the immigration in Europe is very direct and very violent and very different because a lot of Indians can, they could pass the same standard modicum of civility. But when they get into like, of course, there are people that say when they have like an amalgamation of political power, when they get into their own group, then that's different. That's, of course, there's immense political costs. And we see this in places like Brampton, right? But the problem is that it's very easy for the European citizenry to be more vocal, to actually protest, to actually go out there because of the stark consequences of their brand of mass immigration. But in Canada, the effects have yet to really fully be seen. It's starting, though. It's starting. That protest out in Newfoundland, that was immensely unoptical for the pro-immigration lobby. These people, these like immigration officers that are essentially scamsters that do things like say that if you come to Canada, here's how you can get Gibbs more easily. That's immensely catastrophic for the messaging, right? Because even normies in the back of their mind in Canada who did vote for Trudeau, they can be like, oh, well, I mean, that's not right because my parents came here from Eastern Europe and they didn't get handed shit. My mother came here from Italy and she didn't get nothing, right? So, they don't need to be violent. Gio Canada rolls over and actually brings them in to prop up housing prices. No, but that's my point. That's my point, internet friend, is that the costs will only be realized in a few years when the boomers start dying off. Because that's why that is a huge impetus as to why, besides voting patterns, why Canada is going this way is basically to prop up boomer housing prices. And also the other reasons which are pretty obvious in terms of the Trudeau and the Liberals doing this like demographic displacement thing in order to ensure votes, the way that they did, by the way, with other immigrants in previous generations, whether it was the Chinese or the Ukrainians, or I hate to say it, even us Italians. They're still like incredibly, by any definition of the term, there are like old Italian immigrants who by any other definition would be right wing and who are racist, but they still vote for the Liberals. You know why? Because when I came here, Pierre Trudeau gave me a helping hand. I know wops like that. I know it's tragic, and you try to tell them, no, because I voted for Trudeau as soon as I came here. That was a plan. That was the plan. So now take that same plan and put it on crack cocaine. That is what Trudeau the Jr. is following through from Trudeau Sr. from beyond the grave.
I like how both Canada and America have a junior, George H.W., George W., Pierre, and Trudeau. And they both have made this country infinitely worse.
Exactly. Who knows if Jeb would have got in if it wasn't for Trump, right?
Thank God for Donald Trump.
No, but the point being is that in Europe, the problems that they have with their migrants are very hard to cover up. You can't cover up women getting assaulted in the streets. You can't cover up the streets of Paris being turned into a slum. You can only cover those things up for a little bit, right? I mean, so this is the problem. This is why Canadians are very sluggish to actually get the message. Now, my fear when it comes to Europe is that maybe they'll throw them a bone for a little bit, but then what is going to be the price of that bone? That's what I fear. If the elites in the European Union sell people a bill of goods to say, we're going to give you a little bit of anti-immigration for a treat, but you still have to fight the Ukraine war. You still have to support this and that thing. You still have to do the fucking Charles Murray conceptually cucked bullshit. Not Charles Murray, Douglas Murray, not Douglas Murray. I'm getting confused. Douglas Murray. The whole I'm a gay man and you have to Western values are essentially just like current progressive liberalism, but I also hate Muslims. You know what I'm trying to say here? You can't but you also can't go down the road of third worldism, which is the Muslims are based and we hate the same people, blah, blah, blah. But the point being is that I'm worried about if there isn't a crystallization of right-wing victories in Europe, if they're going to pacify these people by saying, we're going to give you a little bit of nationalism as a treat. We're going to give you a little bit of anti-immigration as a treat, but you're going to have to do as we say for the next few decades. That's my fear. But people in Europe can obviously speak to that better than we can. But
That's true.
yeah. Well, what do you think, Prude?
Well, with respects to Canada, I don't have enough to really tell you. I mean,
Well, about Europe, about Europe, about Europe.
I think that Europe has a better chance than most people give them credit for.
Yeah. Well, yeah. True. True. Yeah.
But and again, I think that one only has to look at the cities and then see how the rest of. But the question is always going to be: is how do you break the fucking disgusting mimetic chain of ownership that is just? Well, I don't want to be racist,
Yeah.
but I mean Europe, I think does have a lot better odds of that than some places in America.
They have
Because
a stronger sense of identity. Yeah.
I mean you can't. And I pray that someone smarter than I can make this work. But you would need to ensure that none of this works. Like I hate it when I see on Twitter. This comes from both like I mean mainly American libtards, which unfortunately is the worst thing that we can propagate in the world is American libtardism, and that's our main export. But it's just
Yeah.
that oh well, like every time that like these things happen, we just gotta. They always point back to World War II. They always point back to Germany. They always point back to that despite the fact that millions upon millions of civilization, and I'm being somewhat hyperbolic, but every civilization history that simply says we're going to give up on our own people, we're going to replace them by conquest, in this case, willingly be invaded and taken over, and all
Yeah.
of the male bloodline for that dies and the race dies, then it's over and that civilization dies. But instead, we're so afraid of the ghost of some mid-century Austrian born in 1885 that we'd rather kill ourselves.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the thing. Immigration and all forms of liberal immigration and liberalism is the ideology of Western suicide. And in turn, we have said that we are so afraid, either due to mind viruses, imperial control, whatever, that, this is the
There's a
better
variety of
alternative.
reasons as to why
There's a
this is.
variety of reasons, but still, this is better. I refuse to think that can last forever.
Yeah. Hopefully. No,
Oh,
but
so she said it with a soft A, Marbly, not a hard R. Okay, well, still, I said it with a soft A just now earlier.
oh man, no, but like no, but that's true though. I think like there is a problem of the sort of the theological the political the political theology of what happened in the previous century, but at the same time there is signs of hope in Europe, and I think that I mean, I know a Marxist would point to like, oh, this is like a direct result of economic pressures and material conditions. That's why people resort, and even like libtards do this of like they're only resorting to full right because of economic conditions, because of this. It's not because of like the obvious reasons, right? But I will say that perhaps it is at least in part some material conditions because like who pointed out in the chat that yeah, Louis Cachet. European governments are talking about drafts, mandatory civil service, etc. Yeah, do you want to go fight for the Ukrainians? If you're in Britain, if you're in France, if you're in Germany, maybe if you're in Poland, right? But even the Polish, they're like, oh man, I don't really want to go there. I know I really hate the Russians, right? But a Frenchman wants to go and fight and die and get domed by a Russian JDAM, by a Russian Iskander missile? No, it's ridiculous. So the only way that they could sell people on the idea is if there was a direct existential threat to Europe that would make 9/11 look like a tea party. That's the only way. And despite what the Kiev Independent and despite what the NAFO doggos tell you, Russia has no intention of invading Britain or Europe, like continental Europe. They have no intention of invading Paris. Okay, like the Mustache Man. So, that is a huge reason as well. And if there is some kind of funny business of an attack on one of these European nations, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, but I do think that a lot of people, as soon as you get to the rhetoric of I'm going to do a draft, we're gonna do our civil service. A lot of people like listen. I know it's kind of like, and this is the trick though, Prude. You know this as well with conservatives in America. Is the trick is that they appeal to what should be a proper form of national identity and of pride and patriotism, but for the completely wrong reasons. Theoretically, you should say that maybe national service in a different time, in a different environment, like they had before, would be beneficial and you would have pride in the nation. But when you have a bunch of goblins and usurpers and an autonomous political class that runs your country saying that you have to have national service to fight for the territorial sovereignty of Ukraine as opposed to the territorial sovereignty of your own borders, then a lot of people will default to sort of like ruthless individualism and say that, you know what, no, I don't agree with the national service. In a different time, in a different place, then you would applaud something like that. But now, come on.
Well, 10 years ago, yeah.
Maybe 10 years ago, yeah.
Well, I mean, plus, like, the whole
Maybe
argument.
20 years
Well, I
ago.
mean, we'll consider the whole stuff on October 7th onward, right? Is
Right,
that,
right.
you know, the argument you would hear from a lot of pro-Israeli activists, or like the Douglas Murray stuff would be like, well,
We're
you know,
fighting for civilization.
well, no, well, the argument that you'll hear for a lot of people is that, like, well, Israel's like a proxy nationalism for America, which of course is bullshit because there is such thing as American nationalism.
Just do nationalism in America.
Well, yeah, but you know,
Like,
you know what that is. Do you know what that is, though? At the end of the day, that
What?
means the foreigners have to get kicked out, and that gets called white nationalism, and then nobody's happy.
That's so ridiculous.
But, well,
That's so ridiculous.
That's why Douglas Murray's a fucking snake. But still,
No, but that's what I mean. Like it's what Republicans do in America. The reason they love Israel so much is because it's basically
everyone's got an AIPAC guy.
Well, that too, but like it's their form of normie sadism, where it's like if I can't control the domestic politics in America, I can sublet all of my normie sadism and all of my baseness onto the Israelis. That's what it is.
Well, I mean, have you ever seen?
And let's face it, there's a lot of AIPAC money being washed as well. That is the reality, and it's not anti-Semitic to really point that out. By the way, it's reality. I mean, come on. I mean, it's also like a lot of these Republicans. They say like a lot of these like conservatards like Nikki Haley. They say like the most ghoulish things as well. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, just scroll through a Fox News comment section with these articles.
Just get rid of them all in Rafah. Just get rid of them all.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
just fuck off. Like, okay, listen. I know the whole debate in the right about the Israeli and Palestine thing. Okay, I know. I'm aware, right? But I'm saying, like, at the end of the day, I know the whole thing, but it's like, I know the wholesome Chungus third world isn't blah, blah, blah. But, like, I don't want to see children dying, you know? Like, come on, man. Like, it's not even doing you anything. Is it, like, if those people get cleansed in Rafah, does that really do anything for you, the American patriot? No. So, it just makes you look even worse on the world stage.
Well, I mean, like, outside of the petrostate stuff, I mean, there's not a lot of wealth in there either.
No, exactly.
You have the shipping lanes, and that's about it. But I mean, still, I have to work with what my battlefield lines already are. And unfortunately, like, that is something I have to deal with, which is an absolute insane, fucking crazy amount of philo-Semitism, IPAC, and things there. And I also know that baby boomers, until they all die, and we lose about 2.5 million baby boomers every year, still make up a large majority of the white electorate in America. So it's, I mean, whatever's going to happen, like, there's going to, like, the relationship to Israel is going to change in American politics, where the GOP will still be the standard bearer for, like, my pro-Israel, but everything else will be taking on that sort of critical theorist, like, deconstruct imperialism lens that you're going to see there. And so, yeah, it's all going to happen.
No, but see, but that's the trick, though, that they pull the Republic. Like, they say that you can have what you want, but you have to be pro-Israel. Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous.
I agree.
You know, yeah. So, I mean, no, I'm not arguing with you, Pre. I'm just saying, like, the whole thing.
No, I do agree with the absurdity to it. That's what I'm saying.
The absurdity of it, that you have to basically be a Jenny state to this small nation in the Middle East for a variety of reasons. that would can't get into here on YouTube.
So
Uh,
outside of Trudeau's statement, I mean, when's the next Canadian election?
Probably next year.
And yes, absolutely more God's law. Any
Yeah,
crisis in the Middle East means military age and migrants coming to Europe and America.
yeah, 100%.
Absolutely true.
It's already
That law
happening.
has never been broken.
Oh, it's already happening. There's a lot of people from Rafa even coming to Canada that
Yeah.
have relatives, so that's what I mean.
Has Horace started doing a tracker?
I wonder if he has. That'd be funny.
It's 16 months until the Canadian election. Insane.
Yes. Yeah.
Insane.
Insane. No, but that's what I mean. Like the deal that they give to normie Republican voters is like it's ridiculous and it should be rejected. And here's the problem though. Here's like I know we focus way too much in North America.
We're both in North America. That's the thing we know the most about. I wish I lived in. I wish I knew what I knew about the world, and I wish I knew what I knew about Europe when I was living there as a kid growing up. Because I do appreciate it, and I do, and I know like there's some big what's the word I'm looking for? Like I know that like there are parts of the European far right that hate like my country and whatever. Like that's fine, I get it. But like I want
right-wing anti-Americanism.
But I want Europe to live. I want Europe to live so bad. I want them to live. I have a deep love for Europe. I have a deep love for the countries, their people, their literature, their canon. And so I don't like why should my government or why should any of the fucking people in charge condemn the most important place on the world stage of history to go away?
Yeah. No, but can you blame them because America's treating them like a vassal state?
No, I don't blame them. I don't. I don't. Which is why I have a very old school position on sort of that kind of burden of empire stuff. I don't like that. But also like normie Republican voters aren't getting a real deal on anything issue. They don't ask for anything because this is how normie Republican voters still believe in the myth of political legitimacy.
Yeah.
And that's just
not true.
The way it's going to go.
That the Supreme Court, the judiciary, the head of state, like the whole apparatus of government is still legitimate, or the Constitution is still like a real, you know what I mean? Like they still believe with their hearts that the Constitution is going to save them. And I'm sorry, it's not. I mean, maybe because I'm Canadian, I don't see it that way. But I mean, I would hope that the Constitution would be restored to its former glory, but it's been abused for so many decades. And this is why normie Republicans have to fight they have to fight as ruthlessly as the left. And they're not going to do that. Because you still have people like fucking woke all distance and that type of mentality where it's like, oh wow, we can't, like, what if they use those tools against us? They're already using the tools against you.
Well, I always have to laugh at him because he's like, well, I'm proof that like we can do things a specific way. And da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, your proof of concept is Saskatchewan, a population of 1.2 million people. I live in a state of 40, I live in a state of like 40 million people. In what fucking world does that model work? No, and I get it. Like the nomos of the earth is the post-war liberal international order, my heckin' systems of how we enforce it and how we're going to be an anti-fascist state. Blah, blah, blah. And I get it. It sucks.
Yeah.
But like that's unfortunately how it's being ruled. There's no actual morality. There's no return to like statehood. The systems in which how things used to be are now of total surrender and da-da-da-da-da. How about we use the tools in a way that they'll never be able to be used against us? So true, Keno Station. So true.
Yeah,
but I think But there is a deep spiritual cuckoldry that will never allow that.
But you know what's funny, though? You know what I can't understand, though? Like, I can understand right-wing anti-Americanism in Europe. What I can't understand is the snobbery of left-wing anti-Americanism in Europe. You know why? Because the current American government has given the political left in Europe whatever they want. You know what I mean? They're pro-immigration? Yeah, fine. They hate Russia? Yeah. So, like, the whole, like, attitude that a lot of left-wing Europeans have towards America, they're the biggest benefactors of the American empire. You know what I mean? Like, they're punishing their political enemies in Europe because they have the consent of the U.S. elite to do that. So, you know what I mean? I just can't understand that. I know it's a cultural thing, but it's ridiculous. But no, it's true. Republican voters don't really get a deal. They don't get anything. They don't really get anything out of it. My problem is that I am. It's stuck between, would Trump, another 4 years of Trump, be a pacifying maneuver? Even though
it would be a significant improvement over like.
No, but that's what I mean. Like 4 more years of the Democrats, who knows what America would look like after that.
I even if it's a play for play of the first term, it will be a moderate improvement over everything that we've experienced and what we would experience with 4 more years under Biden. I don't know if Biden will even fucking make it across the finishing line. But again, in 2020, let's not forget, there was a mainstream, I think it was in the Atlantic, where the whole point of the article, this major Politico saying, Joe Biden, please survive. The whole point of Joe Biden is for his corporeal form to make it across the finish line on election day so Donald Trump doesn't win.
Yeah.
The same play is here now. No one cares that a guy might have shit himself on the D-Day stage. Nobody cares that he can't say a damn word or quote Thomas Jefferson about how the blood of so-and-so and the tree of liberty, da-da-da-da-da. It doesn't matter. They want his body to cross the finish line to maintain whatever air of legitimacy is left.
We can have
the election continues. Because who cares what's next? No one gives a shit about Kamala Harris. She's great. She's just great insurance policy. You can have a retarded old white man, or you can have something 10 times worse. A woman who's only there because she has slept her way to the top. And that's terrifying. Because, I mean, if you listen to her talk, she doesn't even need to be senile and old to sound like a mentally challenged person. And so
it's not looking good.
It ain't looking good. So yeah, I'll take the Trump. I know it's awful. I know it's awful.
Yeah, because they're gonna not let him do anything. Obviously.
I mean, we can pray and hope that that's not the case. I mean,
again, true. You could pray that he goes.
But I'm doubtful of that. But I'm doubtful. I don't have any faith. I don't.
No.
Am I still gonna hold my nose and everyone's gonna laugh?
No, I mean, of course you're gonna vote for Trump. Obviously.
Yeah. I'm voting, and I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. Voting is like the lowest effort thing you can fucking do, and you should do it. It's low effort. It costs little to no energy and of your time. What does take effort is doing things like what St. George and Louisiana did. Getting their campaign to organize to get incorporated and not be a part of a larger city where all the white wealth is being used to subsidize a majority black population. That takes effort. That takes time. Yeah. Contacting your city government, contacting your county commissioner about the roads or your schools or funding the police more. That takes actual effort. Voting doesn't do shit. Organizing and actually contacting your local government, that takes time.
Yeah.
And so that matters a little more to me than whether or not I go up and punch the ballot box come November. I will. I voted in the primaries this year. I voted for things that I thought that mattered. I voted on, stuff here in my state constitution. Because I care about my county and my local area. That I have to care about because I live there. Washington, we get lost in the meta politics and the grand political narratives about how things work with power. But we also have to reconceptualize and, sort of reground ourselves in fortress our own areas. We're not getting saved. There ain't no Prester John coming over the hills. There ain't no foreigner that wants to come here and rescue you and I. It ain't gonna happen. Putin ain't saving you. Macron ain't saving you. Nigel Farage ain't saving you. So you have to consider the fact that
Xi Jinping isn't gonna come and save you.
Yeah, no, there ain't no base China either. The yellow man will be just as bad as what we got here, if not worse.
Have you seen the way they treat their own people?
Well, they don't conceptualize them even as people.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Yeah. But speaking of you talking so much about my bladder earlier, I will be right back. I need to go to the bathroom. So by all means, talk to our lovely chat.
All right. Whoa. I haven't solo streamed in a while. No, so my point being, I'm not shitting on the Constitution. I'm just saying that we have to have a supreme skepticism about things. Same with Trump. I still think that the metapolitical, the cultural, even the spiritual implications of Trumpism from 2016 onwards is still a force, but you can't really go into this blind sort of worship of Trump. I think that's a prudent thing. And at the same time, the alternative is way worse. and I understand like the skepticism towards Trump, especially with certain issues of geopolitics. But yeah, I mean, it's bad, and I think that there comes a point to which what is the two major parties in America going to do after the current regime, after Biden and after Trump? There's not a lot of options in the pipe. I mean, maybe you could say, oh well, I mean, I guess the Democrats have Gavin Newsom or whatever, but it's beyond the individual candidate. It's more of the driving philosophy of what constitutes the American political spectrum as a whole. And so, yeah, it's really that's the problem, is that what are they going to do afterwards? Even Trumpism. Can you build off of what Trump opened the way for? I think is a more interesting question than is Trump just going to deliver if he is granted 4 more years? That's the more interesting question, is like, what can the Republicans and what can the people themselves do in the wake of Trump potentially losing again? That I think, I think even more than the Democrats, because the Democrats really is just the, inner party. The Republicans are going to have to do a lot of soul searching. And but then to go back to Europe, though, I think that a lot of people are willing to do a lot of immense soul searching. And there is a lot of good signs in places like Ireland and Germany and even in France now. But other than that, I mean, there is a lot of other forces. And then you don't ever know what's going to happen, because the Ukraine war is still going on. The Gaza situation is still going on. And if they could find a way to basically destroy any political gain that the right wing has made in Europe by saying that, well, see, Russia's taking more territory, then I think that's a big problem. There's a lot of unforeseen
JD Vance
things.
is a legit GOP candidate. I like that. Also, like, the GOP doesn't care about Trump. Like, the GOP will betray Trump.
Of course. I'm just saying, but for their survival, they're going to have to care. You know what I mean?
Well, sure, they'll suck up and do everything that they did when it came to like what happened in 2016. They're like, yeah, we'll work with him, but we're going to try and direct him. And I mean, like, that's the thing. It's just like, honest to God, Vance would be the ideal VP candidate pick. Vance is from a politically relevant state, Ohio. He can help shore up the Midwest, which is going to be the key areas in which Trump is not focusing on. He needs to focus on the Midwest. He needs Michigan, Ohio, Wisconsin, and he needs to win them desperately.
Where's Thomas Massey from?
Thomas Massey's from Kentucky.
Oh.
And Thomas Massey needs to stay in the House of Representatives because he's in a safe red seat, and he's politically, outside of him calling out AIPAC, he's kind of on some other issues.
I think he's better than JD Vance, though. JD Vance is iffy on a lot of issues, too.
JD Vance is exactly who you're going to want when it comes to these issues.
Perhaps.
IPAC is not very. I mean, the IPAC stuff is good on Massey, but Massey's not as strong on immigration as JD Vance is.
Well, who's he going to pick, Mr. D? A woman? He's going to pick Marjorie Taylor Greene? Oh God help!
He can't pick. And Massey was tweeting about how weed should be legal. Like, JD Vance is like, no, okay, I get it. You don't want to lose Vance from Ohio, though. I think that any Senate, Ohio could be probably safely red enough for him to be that.
Yeah, Vance kind of is a Thiel Bucks guy, though.
Well, he is.
Yeah.
He worked for Thiel.
That's what I mean. Like,
you're fucked either way.
Yeah, we're kind of.
Do you want someone who kind of knows how to wield political power, or no?
No, true, but I mean that does come with a lot of baggage. So
that's all true.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm trying to balance out the stream, Prude. You know.
I'm looking. I'm reading the. I just saw some great.
Tulsi Gabbard. Didn't Tulsi Gabbard write her name on the side of a bomb?
She needs to. No, that was Nikki Haley.
Oh, no, sorry, that was Nikki Haley.
No, Tulsi Gabbard is the Hawaiian.
Yeah.
My heckin', I'm not a Democrat. The
Mommy
left of me, mommy that everyone likes.
Yeah. Can you imagine her with Trump?
Man, I don't need to. Let's go. Not worry about it.
Let's just not worry about that. Yeah.
Let's not worry about it. Politics is depressing as it is in current year.
No, but what I wanted to ask about Europe, though, is that why is it that it seems like now it's in the air that there's it seems that a lot of right-wing parties are crystallizing is it just because the immigration crisis has hit a peak, or is it because they're seeing other opportunities because of the state that Europe is in economically with the Ukraine war and what they're expected to do, or is it just because of the direct consequences of mass immigration? Like it seems that there is a crystallization moment, or is it just that there's sort of like a metaphysical wave going on with Trump and
Or
with
just
them?
perhaps that this is it's the word I'm looking for. Just the simple fact of the matter is that maybe there's just too much of what's you can't things are not sustainable.
Right.
The economy sucks both here and over there. The American policy when it comes to how we've been doing with our own finances has been punishing the euro like fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so anything to get them out of there. And I thought that one of the one that French candidate who had said like, "Listen, I'm tired of being a colony of everyone else, including like a digital colony of America, demographic colony of Africa,
spiritual
spiritual colony of Islam."
Yeah,
She
and
has
they tried to
every
grill him.
well, her. I mean, like she made her
Her.
point, and that's very true. And so, yeah, I would be pissed off. And people that have every right to react the way that they have been, and they're going to express it. Does it mean it's going to lead to long term things? No, we know that things take time politically to change their
Mm-hmm.
attitudes. Is it going to hopefully change in time for some serious change to occur and it doesn't lead to a kinetic conflict? Lord, I hope so. But I also know that in America, all it takes is some retarded John Brown gun club or some socialist rifle association to shoot at an ICE agent when someone talks about mass deportations.
Yeah.
That's going to happen. If like Trump gets in and he wants to actually be serious about it and wants to, invoke some insurrection act to do it,
Another Aubrey is going to shoot at an ICE agent.
yeah, it'll happen. But I mean, hey, if that's the case, there's a lot of good things that could come from that. But on the other hand, a lot
Uh
more terrible things could come from that.
no, I think more terrible things because you have to control the media apparatus to make that go away as a
Or
political
you
issue.
could just never mind. I'm gonna go start Fed
You're gonna go
posting.
Fed posting.
So
No, because what I mean is that they'll
I
frame it
know,
as a
I
heroic
know,
thing,
I
and
know, I know, but they
same
should
with
all just
Aubrey in Kentucky.
be
Yeah.
killed.
No, but like
I
they'll
know.
frame it. They'll frame it as like it's actually a good thing that ICE agents are getting murked by
Yeah, I
JVMs.
know, I
Yeah.
know. And again,
Yeah.
they'll probably work with the cartels and everything else like that.
No, but that's yeah, exactly. And so no, but like that politician in France, they tried to say that she's like an imperialist because she's ignoring the things that the French did in Algeria and that's the colonial history and so forth. And so that's like the ready-made stock media answer to anyone who wants to assert that they don't want to become a colony. Like, well, you made other people a colony. And so
Yeah.
that's like the very childish, juvenile political left liberalism in the media. And it's not a serious thing. But people believe that it's a serious thing, unfortunately. So people that watch this crap. So, and that's very unfortunate because the history of colonialism is very deep and very, and the way even academics treat it is not serious. So, yeah, it's very, anyways, it's another original sin against the French that they have to like atone for.
Yeah.
Um,
Boy, it
but
sure was a funny joke, Prude. Yeah, I'll cut that out. Don't worry.
yeah, we'll cut it out.
I
No,
have
Amelia
done
will
it.
totally lionize them.
I have
Yeah.
done that in post several times for this show. I have cut things in post. Also, apparently, Noam Chomsky is hospitalized and probably going to die very soon.
Fuck.
He's 95.
He lived a long life. Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
What can I say? He was an amazing man that had an amazing career.
I didn't even know he was sick.
Rest in power. No, I can't like the moment the flatline meter goes and it hits Twitter. There's going to be a million rest in power Noam Chomsky. No, actually, no, sorry.
He's not black. They can't do rest in power.
Yeah, they can't do. Oh, let me rephrase. Let me reverse my position. They're not going to do it because he's not black, but also, I believe they canceled him for being like an old school fuddy-duddy. They like had this like they did this cancellation on him for some reason. Yeah, I remember you wanted to put vax people in camps. Yeah. No,
Many
but
such cases.
well, he's like, obviously, like, he got more incoherent and they would like wheel him onto these podcasts and it was basically elderly abuse. And he would say these like stupid things like, the universities are right wing and Jordan Peterson's to the right of Attila the Hun. And that's why he hates the universities. And like, it was very like, and then they did this thing where they canceled him and they had like the circle of like BIPOC people to cancel him. Remember that?
I do remember the whole he was talking to like the two black, I think, Bernie people, and he was just like, climate change is the bigger issue. And he's like, they were like, no, it's the police. And it's just like, well, don't you want your grandkids to drown? We're like, we don't want them to be like shot by cops. And it was just like, yeah, manufacturing consent is good, even if it's
Yeah.
retarded.
Kraut did a video about how he's bad because he denied the Bosnian G word. Oh no! Oh! Like, Kraut is universally wrong about everything, Kraut is the biggest piece of shit I can ever think of, but that's whatever. Let's not drag up old head history right there about Kraut and T. The Bosnian, out of all the things, the Bosnian genocide. Yeah, that's why I knew M. Chomsky was bad, right?
My heckin' Noam Chomsky.
No, because that was American imperialism right there when they bombed Serbia. Like, they bombed them because they were G-wording the neighbors. It's like, okay. So you mean to tell me Noam Chomsky had a consistent position when it came to the Bosnian War against American imperialism, whether you think it's right or wrong, but he's bad for that one, right? But then, of course, didn't Chomsky, no, I'm sorry, he was initially skeptical of the Russian War.
I can't put that up on the screen, EL, but that's really funny.
No, but was Chomsky, he was skeptical of the support of Ukraine, but then he had to change his tune?
I don't know. I have not been following enough of that issue.
I forget.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, and also, I mean, this
Kraut had to get rid of Breathing. Yeah, Kraut went after Breathing Ruin.
Oh,
let me just tell you something right now about Breathing Ruin. Kraut did not succeed. I'll say no more about that one.
Interesting.
But, yeah, Kraut didn't succeed to chase him off. But I'm not going to say names, obviously. But yeah. But anyways, no. The point being is that Chomsky had a consistent position.
Oh, they went after Chomsky for signing that letter about cancel culture. Oh no!
The mildest centrist position, and they had to like descend on him like wolves.
That what is it? That wonderful world of that Stone Toss comic. The cancel culture has gone too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, academics, please respond.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they canceled Chomsky, because of that letter about cancel culture.
I'm sure, my God. Out of all the things.
The things. Apparently he was a terrible linguist as well. Like, he set linguistics back like a few decades or whatever. That's what people claim. I don't know enough about it.
Oh well. I say one thing and then we drop the news that no, Chomsky's probably going to die in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
But that's probably true. Let's not kid ourselves.
I still side with Foucault in that debate with Chomsky.
Hey, look at that! Mr. Sneed McChuck is in here. That's always good to see. McChuck. Not a cunning linguist. Well, he is married, but so let's hope.
Yeah, but apparently he was a shit linguist, though. Like,
do you remember the Noam Chomsky achievement for Left 4 Dead 2? Yes, I have that achievement.
Whoa!
On my Xbox 360. But yeah.
Chomsky.
Now I want to go play Left 4 Dead 2. Let me go see the Steam Workshop.
What happened to the zombie thing? The zombie thing died in the 2010s, didn't it?
For like video games? Yeah, everything. I guess so. Well, I guess so.
Yeah.
Finally got that Chivo last month. Oh, there. I have been playing Sons of the Forest with Cap, and I've been playing Cruelty Squad on my own. Although I've also been playing a lot of Remnant 2 with Cap as well, and we'll get Jay Ford into that eventually.
Mm.
But in the absence of an article read today, can we go over Dave's response to Hanania? I liked Dave's response to Hanania. I think that Dave
What
arguing with
happened?
he wrote a response because Richard Hanania wrote a response to Dave's like LinkedIn right secular right thing, and then he responded to Richard. And I thought it was I've said it publicly and I'll say it again. I think Dave arguing with Richard Hanania is way better than any bread tuber. Like Dave, argue with Hanania all you
Argue with
want.
Anatoly Karlin.
Argue with those people more. You do not need to argue with that banana corn Jake asshole. Like just argue with these people. They're intelligent. You're on their level. Just do it. Like
Argue with Swan Marcus.
no, do not do that. Press.
Or he got banned.
Rest in peace, Oleon.
Argue with Woodgrain. That Woodgrain guy's annoying.
He does that all the time because we see that on Twitter.
Yeah.
But honest to God, this is better. This is better than him arguing with any bread tuber.
Yeah.
And we can actually let's make this we can make this next week's episode because we can have Dimes on to talk about this because Dimes has been going hard in the paint.
Oh, we're never gonna get to that postmodernist article.
No, we're not. No, we're not. I want current thing now.
No.
I want my drama now. The one time I want to talk about e-drama.
I don't want to read about Hanania.
Neither do I. I have him muted. I have him silenced. And yet, you know what? Our loyal followers. I'm calling out Davistar especially. Davistar especially. He did this. He posted the screenshot of it. I have this guy muted. I have him blocked. I have even the word Hananiac muted on my Twitter account. Here we are.
Crowdslave's video, why should be more like Estonia?
And it was about digital stuff. It was about their digital aspects of governance. Are Hananiacs a real thing, or do they make that shit up? No, it's real. Like there are genuine Hanania fans. And also I have read his book, The Origins of Woke. Do it next week with Dimes. I will with Phoenix. I will. I've had a lot of shows with Dimes the last few weeks. I feel incredibly Dimes, you and Dimes are my favorite Canadians to talk to. And so it's just nice when I get to talk to him and it's not like once a quarter.
When Hanania tells you to take your vitamins,
I just go, Hanania tells me to take my vitamins. I just reread his countercurrents articles. I take my vitamins, Mr. Hanania.
No, because, get the Hananiacs, the Hulkamaniacs, get it?
Yeah.
Take your vitamins. What did Hulk Hogan say? Like, take your vitamins, say your prayers, take your vitamins. Yeah, but not Hanania though. He'll never tell.
Say your prayers, take your vitamins, smoke your cigarettes. It's a good time.
I forget the exact debate. Like, I didn't even read. I know that Dave was beefing with Hanania, but I have yet to read that article. So
I'm post-Canadian.
We're all post-Canadian. What are you talking? According to Trudeau.
True. We're all post-Canadians. Even I'm a post-Canadian. I don't even live in Canada. I'm not even Canadian. I'm post-Canadian.
What's happening in South America? Nothing?
President Scheinbaum was inaugurated.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Also, I did find it interesting that everyone was like, oh, they were kind of conspiratorially reading into it about Scheinbaum because it was just like, oh, there's so many other people who were murdered during this election. That's every Mexican election. There are at least 25 candidates that get murdered every election. Like, it does not matter. I mean, it does matter that Scheinbaum, out of the entire population of Mexico, really. But also, I think that this more leftward turn is going to. I mean, AMLO was pretty leftist. I'm sure Scheinbaum will continue a lot of what AMLO has done. PRI is not in power. So yeah, I think that's sort of important to consider. That this will probably be a further solidification of things like CLAC, more anti-Americanism, more immigration as a political release valve into this. So yeah, it'll be pretty rough.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, what is the Mexican left position on I guess they just like let it happen in terms of immigration into America.
Oh, I mean, it's just ooh, that's rough.
Oh
Um,
God.
yeah, Mexico's an environmentalist Jewish PhD woman, and we're stuck with Donald Trump. Oh well, I mean,
No,
the
but
Moran-
I mean, like, isn't it a failure of governance that their population is trying to like leave en masse to America?
well, yeah, I
No,
mean
but it's not
that
even them though. It's not even them anymore. A lot of Mexicans don't want to leave Mexico anymore. It's more the other South American and Central
yeah,
American countries. Yeah,
yeah.
but I mean, they're a
Um,
conduit for it.
oh, part of it, they absolutely are all for it.
Yeah, and all the millions of
Because
dollars
it
America.
weakens us and it strengthens their political position against the United States. Like
Yeah,
that whole
so
Otset law and reconquering thing, like they do mean that.
and of course, Scheinbaum she probably like plays into that heavily, right?
I don't know. It's Haitians
I
and
mean,
shit. So true.
a socialist woman in Mexico playing
I
into
war with
reconquer.
Mexico. That's the only war I will ever volunteer for.
Oh man. No, but that's what I mean. Like they certainly facilitate the other Latin American countries. I mean, but then what does America pay and support and train and use multiple millions and billions of dollars even to prop up the Mexican military, for example? Like, what does America get out of that? Nothing, it seems, right? I mean, that's what I mean. Like, we've talked about this on the show before. If America was serious, you would basically just treat Mexico like a client state. And you'd say, listen, you'd have to enforce war against the cartels, and you'd enforce your own borders because that would translate into American borders not being disrupted as much, right?
Plus Washington promotes this.
Yes, of course. No, but that's the thing. It seems that Mexico apparently it's a huge money pit for the USG. So
Well, with China, I mean, that's what a big part with the CELAC stuff is that it's a huge, more central, Latin and South American bloc that they have gotten closer to China. Like
is she a China show as well?
No, well, I don't know. Again, I need to do some fucking research.
Yeah, you have to do this research, Prude.
Ugh.
The geopolitics guy.
Yeah, I don't ever want to do that though.
No, but that's your bit. It's like does
I don't
Alvaro,
want to do the.
does Alvaro Castaneda, does he want to keep painting the same rainy day cityscape? Maybe, who knows? But it makes him a lot of money.
Anyway,
did Thomas Kincaid want to paint the same? Well, maybe he did.
Maybe he
paint
did.
The same cottage over and over again. Yeah.
My point being that that I would imagine she is okay with being closer to China. Which, of course...
Do you think Amaranth wants to do the same tit stream? Well, maybe. I shouldn't say that.
Did you just say tit stream?
Yeah, like that streamer, Amaranth. What's her name?
Oh, I heard Amran at first, and I was like, what?
That'd be hilarious. You'd have like some Wignatty girl. No, but like, you know what I mean? Like, in other words, I mean, I hate to say it, but if something is like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're known for something, then you have to sort of do the crowd pleaser stuff, I know you want to escape it. It's true. But hey, this stuff affects America. So I think you probably be fruitful to research on what her position is on China.
I will do some research. I will go and do... Damn it. Do you know the betting pool is at like $250 that I do a Geopol stream this year, and you're about to get someone very happy that it happens in this coming month.
Half the cartels are probably subcontracted for the CIA. Yeah, probably.
Gio needs to travel. He does travel. He's finally, he travels regularly. He sees his girlfriend.
That's about it, though. I do need to travel, though. I do need to travel.
I would recommend that you travel. Do it while you can.
That one red girl, that one raw meat girl, she's not racist enough to do the NREM titty stream. Like, Peachy Keenan, no, guys, no, come on.
John Carter's just like, so what if we just dropped Khazar milkers?
You mean to tell me a Jewish woman could be a white supremacist too?
Sir, welcome to the E-Right.
Welcome to the E-Right.
You must be new here, sir. We've got
Welcome to the distant right.
we've got all sorts of
Oh,
yeah.
imagine Helen No, no, not Helen Andrews. No, no. Can you
No,
imagine her
don't
like at
we do
Amran?
no. We
No,
do
no, not the
not
tasting
we
thing.
do not besmirch
No, no,
Helen
no, no, not the
Andrews
tasting thing. No, no,
on
no, I'm
this
not saying this.
show.
But can you imagine her at Amran?
She's smart enough not to go there.
No, but like if she just like said screw your optics and she like
She already
did a
has.
conference.
She already has. She's basically my favorite tweet of hers. I'm going to say it until I'm blue in the face. It's not ideology, it's demographics.
That'd be crazy though if she like said just like forsaked all optics and went to the Amran conference.
Well, one would, that would be nice, but until then.
She'd be like, first up in line, Thomas 777. Second in line, Keith Woods. Third in line, Helen Andrews. Fourth in line, Jared Taylor, followed by Helen Andrews.
I for one,
Can
my
you
tent
imagine
is the
that
biggest.
lineup?
My tent is the biggest on the DR when I see Helen Andrews. That's so terrible. Her Teutonic autism is too good for this world, and
Oh man,
I am mutuals with her, and I'm a fan. I read where Trump's numbers are beginning to crash. They're beginning to crash in the Midwest, but they are rising in Georgia, Nevada, and Arizona.
yeah.
Amran has been canceled for decades. What do you mean?
Well, I thought they still had Amran.
They do, but I mean, like, it's
Oh no, that's MPI was canceled after him.
Oh, NPI was canceled. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already been in a coma since 2015. Oh boy, I can't wait to go to the next MPI conference.
I
right,
heard they're gonna have like who they have?
I don't know.
Who's the countercurrents writer? O'Meara. They're gonna have James O'Meara at the Amaran conference. I just woke up from a coma. Is it 2016? Did Trump win? Did Jeb win?
It's 2024.
It's 2024, bro.
You have a lot to learn.
I mean,
Biden's president. They're
still in war. There's still a war with.
Also, that there's a war in Russia.
Oh, there was a war in Russia when I went
again.
Nothing's changed from 2014.
I woke up from a coma. That's so good. That's good.
I woke up from a coma. Yeah,
that's good. No, have we attempted? Have we attempted to? No, we have not Tuesday. But I might have him on one of these days. I think I've just given up on the idea of ever moving up professionally in this sphere. So I might as well have him on.
That's funny though. Like if someone went into a coma in 2014 and they woke up, there's still a war in Russia with Russia and Ukraine. Israel is still bombing people, and Trump might get elected. So it's like
it's a war in Russia. Oh no, Hillary won. That's so true.
Just look at that super chat. Just woke up. What happened?
You just woke up from your coma, huh?
Oh, that's funny. That's so funny.
Well, welcome to the show about nothing, everybody. And with that, I'm gonna just go to the super chats because you guys sent in a lot. I'm gonna start with the
next week will be more structured. We promise.
I promise.
We promise.
Can you not? It's weird stuff in chat when you're like, I'm like, oh my god.
Remember
you're a 31-year-old man. What are you doing?
Remember when we did the Lane episode? And I kept saying, Lane.
Kill me. Just kill
me. We promise.
You know what? I hope some poor fucker clips this and uses it against you for like the rest of your days.
And I'm doing like the fingers on the cheeks, like we promise.
Like this?
No, like you point. It's like you're
like
doing the cat girl. Yeah, like that too. We promise. I'm
not. I may not be a professional detective, but I know faggy shit when I see it.
She was saying "ooh" on the soundboard. Ooh.
Oh yeah, that is true. He does have a soundboard. Cap has a soundboard of me saying all the hard R's from our previous gaming streams.
Whoa!
That's not true, but he has heard me drop the gamer word too many times, I'd like to admit.
Someone paid me the super chat to say Naya once.
Naya!
I'm
gonna. All right. Let's get through this because there's a lot of freaking super chats. Alrighty. I'm going to kill you.
No, but it's fun. I wasn't making a joke about Helen Andrews. I was making a joke about Helen Andrews being at AMRAM. That'd be pretty hilarious. She'd be like, first up, Keith Woods. Second up, Thomas77. Third up, Helen Andrews. Fourth speech, Jared Taylor. Fifth speech, Derbyshire.
Okay.
You know what's funny? You know what's crazy? Derbyshire actually wasn't that optical back in the day. You know what I mean? Like he wrote for
the National Review.
National Review, yeah.
Yes. I'm not gonna get to the super chats because I now want to just rethink my life. Okay, so starting off. Let's see if I can go from the top.
Entropy?
Yeah, from the top, from Entropy. Jay Ford sends $5. He says, "Thanks for the Typica service on Sunday. You're welcome. It's a reader service.
$5.
Glad to see everyone again this year. Excellent speech. I'm sad because I had to miss the last few due to time constraints. Yeah, I had to miss the last couple of or so on. I got to see. I didn't get to see half of Sundays. I had to leave after once Dave started to talk. But yeah, I'm glad to see you. It was good to see you again there, Jay." Seneca sends $10. He says, "Missouri lore, the Beatty Mansion, occupying prime real estate in St. Joseph's historic downtown. The mansion was constructed by Armstrong and Eliza Beatty in 1857. It served as an asylum/nursing home/orphanage for most of its history because the Beattys died with no heirs. It is considered to be extremely haunted." Interesting. I'll have to look into that.
For $10, I think I've heard of the Beatty Mansion. I've heard of some. Yeah. Interesting.
Let's see here. Yeah, Seneca sends another one for $3. He says, "Sorry that I missed you at the OGC conference, Brood. Unfortunate circumstances that hit me a week before. My car was totaled in an accident. Thankfully, there were no injuries." Well, thank God.
Holy shit!
You were not injured. Thank God.
Yeah, thankfully, man.
Yeah. Sam153 says, "Hope the event went well, Prude." It did. Gio, how do the Oilers Cup prospects look?
Not good. Not good whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like I say, if the Panthers win, they're going to give Sergei Bobrovsky the Conn Smythe Trophy, like they gave to Martin Brodeur when he won the cup for the Devils. So he will be the fourth goalie. I believe there's been only 3 goalies who have won the Conn Smythe. One being Patrick Waugh, the other one being Martin Brodeur. I forget who the third one is, but yeah, I think the third one actually is the one from Boston back in the day. I have to look it up. But yeah, this ain't looking good for the Oilers, unfortunately.
There you go. Let's see here. Charlie Mackey for a very generous $60. Thank you very much.
$60!
Very kind, sir. It was good meeting you at the event. Looking forward to listening to this episode later. What aesthetic experience, if possible, is necessary to convince the depressed or suicidal, especially Zoomers, of the value of life? Many of my generational peers confess to depression and nihilism, claiming cowardice alone prevents them from self-redacting. Oh, this is where I'm going to unironically say touch grass. I mean, like, genuinely going out, hiking, sun exposure is going to genuinely increase your worldview. But, I mean, the thing is that for many people, because of there's studies that say we touch our phones over like 2,000 times a day to check them and to scroll through them and to, in text. Until you can find a way to rationally and through self-discipline balance out your digital life with your real life, it's going to be very difficult. And of course, for most younger people, their life is completely online. And I think that that's a great detriment to them because you are constantly being overwhelmed on the sensory level of all reasons to not live. And so I think that if you can successfully discipline yourself to either have some ascetical practice with your phone, but also to go and hike and see the rivers and go fishing or go boating or go to a museum, especially the arts, go see a show with the Philharmonic. And I mean, it's going to touch everyone. And I mean, if you have religious people in your life, I mean, like, go to a church, Es- uh, especially one that is ornate and well designed and beautiful. Go to a historical downtown. There is so much out there that can illustrate that there are things to inspire and to generate reasons to live. And if they're afraid out of cowardice, well, the answer for the cowardice question has already been answered through the euthanasia stuff in Canada. People will happily jump through bureaucratic hoops to kill themselves because it absolves them of the responsibility and the cowardice of not doing it themselves. So honestly, look towards the outdoors through actual activity. It isn't just, oh, go outside. You actually have to work and find what you're looking for. That beautiful vista or that spot in the woods has to be climbed to. And that's a big part of it. I don't know if you have anything to add there, Gio.
Oh yeah. What was the exact question?
What aesthetic, experiences, the visuals, the looks, to
A work
help
of art.
a good work of art.
Yeah. Nature. I
There you
mean,
go.
it depends. I mean, it depends. Um, I think you have to physically go and actually see the paintings. You can't.
Yeah.
I know for a fact you can't really get it from the screen. You have to physically go to a gallery, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. And if you have an eye for it, you could potentially look at a painting for quite a long
Mm.
time. So
Nimue Albin for $15 says, I watched your Dimes Boomers versus Zoomer stream.
oh
God, that was
god.
pain. The silver lining is that it confirms that boomers are not worth talking to. They literally do not get it and are resentful of being told that.
Not only did you get gripe for it, but yeah,
Not only did I get griped for it, but did I get to. Honest to God, I think Dimes was right, and I agree with him. Herb was the most important person on that entire stream
oh my
because
god,
Herb
that's
was.
so tragic.
It's true.
Who is Herb, by the way?
Herb was the guy that sounded like your stereotypical boomer that would have been made fun of by anyone on the far right.
No, but like, where did Dimes get this guy?
I don't know, and that's the best part. I
Who
don't
the
know.
fuck is? That was like the gripers are like, who the fuck is Herb?
That's the best part.
That's like a Vince Russo swerve. Like, just get a homeless guy to like get some random guy.
They did. He
to go
did.
in the match.
And honest to God, I'm glad that he did. He was the most important person on that entire stream.
Oh my god, even more important than Doyle, even more important than Steve Saylor.
Yep. Because Steve Saylor gets it, even if he's bad on some issues. Steve gets the whole great replacement deal. He gets it. He's been doing this for years. And people still owe a lot to Steve for getting them to where they are today. The same thing with Molyneux and the same thing with anyone else who talks about HBD. Still, the most important guy on there, Herb. Because he's not some Murdoch caricature of a boomer. He's the real deal. And you heard it from his mouth.
Yeah. We want Herb. We want Herb. We want Herb. We'll get a Herb on the stream.
The next super chat is from, oh my gosh. Act my Mike Groiper. Look at that. I'm not even gonna click on the profile picture, but good lord.
What?
Don't worry about it. The ultimate 180 would be for the Leafs to profess their aristocratic superiority over the plebeian libs of America. That'd be interesting. But thank you for the super chat.
That could be a potential thing. We could go back to like the way the political arrangement was before Pierre Senior.
There you go. Oh, hello. So this is from Owen Zaleski. He says, hello, gents. I saw Return of the King yesterday, and it struck me on how the aesthetics of the movie seem to very much be the hallmark of the time. I can't tell if it was following the trends of the age or if it established the age's aesthetics. God bless. I'd have to rewatch Return of the King.
Herb radicalized me on the pillow question.
Many people were saying that in chat.
What's Return of the King about?
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, yeah.
Have you not seen?
I don't think I've watched that one.
Well, we're going to have to... Remember, guys, it's $100. Gotta go pay Gio next week to go watch the fucking Lord of the Rings trilogy, because it sounds like he has never done that. All right, again.
$600 for all the Star Wars movies.
Act Mimi Groiper again says, how much for the optimistic Chud Jack Art Deco shirt, e.g. Billions Must Try? Like, do you want a Billions Must Try t-shirt? Is that what you're saying? We can make that happen.
Yeah.
I'll get to work on it. All right. Sean Schaefer says, evening, gents. Missed most of the show, but it's great to see Gio using my edit for the profile picture here on the on screen. Now he says, now Gio, shill my Twitter. The Twitter is @sword_in_sheath as acceptable exposure.
Sword in sheath.
Sword in sheath. @sword in sheath as acceptable exposure.
That's like all those like cheap like Wattpad style eroticas. They always talk about sheathing.
Yes.
You know?
There you go. There's the Twitter Enjoy. There you go. Go follow our friend Sean.
Gio never watched anything besides art porn flicks.
So true. Scribe says,
never watched Scarlet Diva, Prude?
No.
With Asia Argento?
No.
It's a great film.
I doubt that it is.
Mr. D, he like wanted to hang me for that one. It's like, you watched that film?
Sounds like Gio. It sounds like D's right.
Look up Scarlet Diva.
No, I'm good. I'm not. Thank you though.
In the chat, look up Scarlet Diva with Asia Argento.
This is a cognito hazard. Don't do that. Scribe says today marks 88 years since Robert E. Howard's passing.
Whoa!
Still one of the greatest American writers.
Oh yeah. All right, you're not reading what are the amounts that they're giving you?
What do you, I tend not to do, the last 4 in a row have been $5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, Gio. We don't go to a 50 season private movie.
Like Taxi Driver? Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then Sam153 says, what do you make of the Russians in Cuba again? Well, I think that they've made a point that they're not fucking around. Or at least that they're willing to send a message and shoot across the broad.
It's a Cold War all over again.
Yeah, except this time our Catholic president is retarded and not mentally there.
Yeah.
I want to make a Conan film.
Kennedy, he was mentally there.
Yeah, I mean, the golden one could play Conan. That's for sure. Absolutely.
Oh, you could play Conan.
Did
you see he was with Solbra?
I did see that, yes.
Solbra could probably play Conan. He hasn't got the physique.
I don't think he's got the face.
He's got the face.
I guess.
No, I mean, yeah, the golden one would be a better pick.
That's just me.
Like the golden one is obviously a bit bigger than Solbra, but Solbra does have a good physique, though.
Well, yeah, but I don't think that Solbra should play Conan.
Yeah, but Solbra's not a mass monster. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He could be, though.
And then Hugo GLC 56 cents 50 Canadian pesos. He says, I write this from an undisclosed location from my Mexican Sierra. This may be my final message. The new leaders of the new president are closing in. So I guess he's not happy either with the election.
Whoa. Yeah, they're going to crack down a lot of things in Mexico.
Yeah, I imagine so.
It's not going to be the cartels, let me tell you that one.
I
mean, Prude, we have to... I'm actually curious about what's going to happen with this Jewish woman in Mexico. Because it's like, they're obviously... If she is like a total libtard, then like, I can only imagine the wild things that she's going to do. Because they have sort of like...
I just imagine we're going to get more of AMLO. But we'll... Only time will tell.
But
yes,
like...
I'm not putting that up there, Hugo. There's a reason why I didn't say it like that.
Hasn't Mexico been ruled by like one party for 50 years or something?
Yes,
like
the PRI, and it's been for longer than 50 years. This AMLO and them have been the first major break.
And the first major break to decide to elect this socialist woman.
Yeah, the cartels have assassinated 37 candidates this election season, but I mean, they've also killed candidates in other elections. I don't know if there's too much of a direct connection, but yes, all Mexican elections are bloody and nasty. Son of Haster sends $2. He says, we're so back, in parentheses, home after the OGC event. That's very true. It was good to see you again over there, Son of Haster. It was nice seeing you there. Jay Ford, another membership. We appreciate it, sir. Says, we're so back. I greatly appreciate your membership. You guys get to see all the behind the paywall content as well as gaming streams. Appreciate it. Bolero393. It was nice to meet you in person.
$5.
He says, it was great to meet everyone at the OGC event. Great at Spear Decor. The only thing that could have made it better would have been Gio's laugh and fez. Yeah, I'm kidnapping Gio next year to make it happen. This one is for Troy Manga. He says, that feeling no anime GF.
I know, man.
We don't counter signal anime here, but I can't relate to this feeling.
Don't you want an anime GF?
Yeah. I'm good with mine.
Your 3D?
I'm okay with my 3D one, yeah.
Yeah, me too. But like some, I mean, I don't know. I've never had 2D, so
yeah.
They say once you had 2D, you can't go back.
Well, too bad they're not real. And in this world, we have libtards.
Don't say that. They're real.
Gabe Underground 499 says, welcome back, Prue. Did you enjoy meeting my agent Cap Ulysses Glow? And I'll wretch myself from the aristocratic responsibilities and go for the second one. I had a great time meeting Cap in person. It was nice to put a face to the voice I've been chatting with and talking to for months on end, and gaming with for hours and hours. And yeah, it was a great time. Cap is one of my new favorite people. And then Machiavelli says Machiavelli sucks to go. Says, did you say you give grants? If so, are white people allowed? Yes. And my jurisdiction almost exclusively gives grants to white jurisdictions and areas. So yes.
I dated a girl that looked exactly like Magooman. Nice.
The way Gio said that almost sounded like Sergeant Hatred. Oh boy. Oh boy.
We don't know if anime girls are real or not. I mean, I choose to stay agnostic on that question.
I'm agnostic on the anime girl question. I might put. You need to put that in your Twitter bio. Agnostic about the anime girl question.
It could be real. All I'm saying, you have to be open to the possibility.
So to preface this next super chat, the main topic of my speech was on white fortressing as well as local government. I'm very much. I talked about entryism because I don't think you can do a lot politically or in political parties. You can do a lot of stuff on small town level. So Bolero 393 says Prue's OGC speech was great. Make government megacore work for normies, build them up so they can build up others and Chuds win. I'm talking on a very scaled down level. And I may have to contextualize this by either uploading parts of my speech or transcribing parts of my speech, but there you go. This one's from Jay Ford, so I now have to wear the shirt the next time I'm on camera. So I guess I'll wear it next week.
Oh boy,
the best 100. Yeah. So the T-shirt is, of course, I come fast. I've got fish to catch. It was given to me by a guy named Cody Bassett, who has given us money before on the show.
Yeah.
And I felt bad because he gave it to me the first night I was there. So I'm in a nice, I'm in a vest. I'm in a black. I'm the closest. I don't have a tux, but I'm dressed up in like a 3-piece suit with a bow tie, black wool bow tie on. He's like, Prude, I got you this. And I read it and I'm like, oh no, it's the, of course I come fast. I've got fish to catch t-shirt. I'm aware of this meme. And I'm like, I don't think I'll ever wear this in public, buddy. And he's just like, but you gotta. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. As I'm grabbing it,
Jay Ford made it happen.
And Jay Ford made it happen. Well,
for $150. Did you see that comment by Tuesday? You're talking about anime GFs, and I'm about to go to sleep in a big bed with my wife. Oh, do you have an anime waifu?
Here.
I go to sleep in a big bed.
Will any other friend speeches get uploaded anywhere? No, they will most likely not. They were for the people who attended.
Yeah.
Mike and Paul, also, it was great to see you again, sir. It was nice to meet you again. See you there.
$10.
I'll have to listen to the VOD later, gents. Working on an extra top secret project with White Boy Summer Apparel at the moment. Don't tell anyone. Well, thanks for the super chat, asshole. Don't tell anyone. Oh, by the way. But good to know that Mike Paul's working on something for them. I would never pay for you to review Revolution 60. I'm not hard enough.
What's Revolution 60?
I'll let Gio look that one up.
Oh my God! Look at the chat! Look at the chat! Lord Penna Spaghetti Groiper! Lord Penna Spaghetti Groiper!
I love it. It's great.
Oh my God! That's hilarious.
Still waiting for the Chud edit of Teenage Dirtbag. So true.
Yeah.
The speeches are always kept private out of due to risk of doxing, and also, most importantly, if you're
Aren't you all you guys face lords?
No, there were several Anons who spoke.
Oh yeah, that's right. Like Last Things and
Yeah,
who else? I mean, there's Anons there, like Micah Paul and
yeah.
yeah.
So like, there's a reason why, and also like Paul Fahrenheit is Anon. Like, just
Oh
keep
yeah,
it.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Closington. Oh, Closington shows his face once in a while.
not once in a while. Um, Old Head Norwood Groiper, 2016.
Look,
The
they're
Cincinnati.
arguing with each other in the chat. They're arguing with.
I love it. You
Oh, this is
serious-
amazing.
I love it. Dave did upload his last year's, the audio, but it's different this year. It's a different organization that ran this year's conference. Stitchin Adams / Short Fat Otaku killed the morally lazy centrist to me. I wasn't sure what convictions I had, but that I need to have them. Well, that's true.
Yeah, that's
Eventually,
good.
if you sit on a fence long enough, it will go so far up your ass you can never get off of it.
That's what it's Mr. D accused me of with a Palestine issue.
Gosh.
Well, he says I'm disgusting third worldist.
You have your tendencies.
Yeah. No, but that is true though. I mean, I think that it's sort of like libertarians. I know that libertarians have gotten their like 15 minutes again of fame, but it's sort of like that same thing where life leaves you behind, and politically, the politics of the day and the culture of the day leave you behind, and it's a very sad thing to see in a way. Pasta Eternal. I agree, Lord Penna Spaghetti. Pasta Eternal.
The Magna Defender says the worst subreddit is r/coof. It is filled with NPCs who can't let go of a 4-year-old Cole. No less. It's a digital mental institution. They deserve the prison they've built.
Yes, I agree. They deserve it because they wanted to ruin my life for 3 years. So
they definitely deserve it.
Yeah, and I feel like I shouldn't say that. Like, obviously, as a Christian, I feel sorry. I feel a form of sorrow at people that have managed to basically ruin their lives through a biopolitical emergency that became a culture war issue. But I think that their desire to control, I shouldn't say that. We all have a desire to control other people's lives. Let's be real here. I know it's a taboo thing to say. I know, now that I just said that, I kind of do sound like PPP when I say that. There's certain inflections. I know. I should admit this in public. No, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything.
All right. We'll carry on.
No, okay. So what it was that I know I just said I shouldn't have been in public, but one time I was listening to this Kino Casino clip in the morning, and my mom walks in. She's like, "Is that you?" I go, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Is that one of your podcasts?" I go, "No, that's Kino. That's PPP. He's also a fat Canadian." And my mom, like dead in the eyes, looks. That sounds just like you. And I was shocked. I was like, I don't know what to say. Do I sound like PPP? I kind of do. I kind of sound a little bit like PPP. I gotta admit, I sound a little bit. When I say stuff like, I know we shouldn't admit that, but like, I know I do sound a little bit like PPP. But anyways, my point being is that, so I know we shouldn't admit that, but it's kind of true. Because all politics is an extension into the very facticity of life. So we all kind of do want to. No, what I mean is, like, my mom woke up in the morning and she walked into the kitchen to make coffee. Or I think I made coffee that morning, but whatever. So my point being is that we do want to. I know as disgusting as it kind of sounds to like people nowadays, we kind of all want to control people's lives, at least to an extent. When we have laws against murder, do we not want? Oh my God, that'd be terrible. I sound
so you sound like Martin? Is this Martin's secret other count?
It could be.
Could be.
People have confused Martin for Richard Spencer before.
It is true.
No, but the point being is that is controlling, for example, people doing crime, that is directly controlling other people's lives, right? And unless you're like some weirdo sovereign citizen person, we realize that politics more or less is existential, right? So what I mean by, but again, it comes to a notion of a higher order of things. It comes to a
Mhm.
notion of a sort of noblesse oblige with what you do with power among a populace. Now, do you want to control people's lives to better themselves? I mean, of course, they would say that yes, we're controlling your life to better you from the coup, right? But when it comes to what has come out about it, when it comes to the actual nature of what happened for those 3 years, especially if you're Canadian, by the way,
So true, EL.
then then what they want to do is not better your life. They want to extend your life, even though they hate life. Because if you really scratch the surface, like that one viral tweet that I quote tweeted, they really are like nihilists. They're these weirdo, like, don't have children because the climate, don't have children because of, now they say, don't have children because of rising fascism. And that lady that I replied to on Twitter, she said, don't have children because of fascism, don't have children because of the climate, don't have children because of the coup, right? Very anti-human ideology. So but at the same time, they obsessed over it because of the politics of bare life. They want to control your life merely to extend it, not because of human flourishing. Because what they want is not flourishing. What they had for those 3 years was not human flourishing. It was the deadening of life in the name of mere existence. So that is the difference between some kind of like base world politics where we control what people want to do, or controlling what people want to do so they don't hurt themselves, or controlling what they do as to not destroy the moral fabric of a civilization, or controlling what people do to lead to human flourishing, not to control what people do in order to deaden life, to lock down all of existence for something that frankly rose above the average flu. So that is what I mean by, Gio, you're a hypocrite because you're on the right wing and you want to control people's lives. There's a difference with that, okay? I don't want to control people's lives to destroy any public ritual that is left. I don't want to just control their life so that they can't see their loved ones, or so they can merely extend their life to consume until they meet a graceless end alone. Because that's what those Covidians want. I want to control people. Everyone wants to control people's lives. Even libertarians want to control people's lives to an extent.
Whopper Park, it's not a groan of disagreement, it's a groan of tiredness.
Yeah, okay, sorry. I went off, Preed. Go ahead.
You're good. Will Scheinbaum vote with Israel in the UN? I do not know what Scheinbaum's take on Israel is, so I guess we're gonna do a Mexico foreign policy stream soon.
That is curious, though.
I'm inclined to think that they'll vote no, but who knows?
Yeah, because the whole
no one
worldism. Yeah,
I was about to say, like, no one hates no one hates like the project of a nation state like a leftist.
Yeah.
Old Head Norwood Groiper 2016, an account that we willed into existence last week. Just woke up. What happened? That's a great question. What did just happen?
There's a war in Russia.
Israel's bombing people again. Trump is running for office, and we're in the third term of the
Obama administration. So Old Head Norwood Groiper never left 2014 when he went into that coma. Yeah.
All right. Well, this one's for you.
$5.
Oh God.
I need to pay a Japanese woman to say that.
That's what Fiverr's for, buddy.
There you go.
And then John Carter says, Gio, even if you sound like PPP, that doesn't mean you have to look like PPP. Well, you're working on that.
He looks all right. I'm probably bigger than him. I don't know, man. He looks, I mean, I understand, like, he kind of does have a particular look, but, like, I mean, I don't look similar. I mean, I don't know. I don't have the similar. I guess all fat guys look the same after a while, but you know what I mean? Like, we have a different look, you know?
Still going, eh? I know. You guys are still going? I've already finished mowing the lawn. Hey, Hafios, it's good to see you, buddy.
Oh my god.
Well, if nothing ever happens, I guess I'm going back to bed. Well, with nothing ever happens, and with that, I'm going back to bed. We will be live next week on Gio's channel.
Yeah.
We will gonna talk about old heads and dimes and nickels and change.
And I'll try to get out the Shunning review and a new episode of the Cole Report. So there you go. I'm thinking Cole Report will be every Saturday.
I've got the Venture Brothers Season 3 retrospective that'll come out maybe next week, just because I've got a stream with Dave covering a recap of the OGC stream, plus Dave and I we were both like, hey, it's kind of weird that you and I only talk to each other parasocially, because like I watch your streams and apparently he watches our show and I feel so bad for him. Sorry, Dave.
Dave and his wife heard me say, "Nayanogato."
And just like that. There's never been an echo chamber built that could ever hold Dave Distributist. I don't know how.
Owen Zaleski liked the Cole Report.
Well, Owen Zaleski's a top pay piggy, so I hope so.
Yeah.
Can't wait for it to get. Oh, dude, I've seen the whole show like 3 or 4 times at this point. I kind of get to the whole. Don't get me started. But yeah, then I'll have some other Substack stuff up later this week, and we'll see you all very soon.
Yeah. God bless. Goodbye. Too sweet. Sayonara.
See ya, gents.